during the absence of the Speaker until Right Honourable Speaker resumes the chair. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Leader, are you taking the question? Leader, question time. Item 6.
Mr. Speaker, I think we can vary the business of the House for today and take a statement. Honorable Jerry wants to make a statement congratulating the Black Stars on their phenomenal performance yesterday in winning the match against Panama. And I believe it is in order for Honorable Jerry to lead this House to make a statement. And I'm saying so because yesterday he said that the results of the match will give an indication whether things are working well in this country. I'm guided by Hansard, and the Hansard of this House captures him as having said that the results of the match yesterday will be the litmus test for determining if this country now works. So, Mr. Speaker, given that the Black Stars won, I believe that he owes this country a duty to now confirm to Ghanaians that indeed the country now works because the Black Stars won the match yesterday. So, Mr. Speaker, whilst he prepares his mind what to say, whilst he prepares his mind how to say it, that this country now works, I see the Minister for Education has entered the chamber, and since he has questions to answer, we will take the questions of the Minister, and then whilst that is happening, Honorable Jerry will prepare his statement to confirm to Ghanaians that the country now works, and it is because the country now works that the Black Stars won the match yesterday. So, Mr. Speaker, we'll go to question time.
Leader, statement should not engender debate. But the way you have begun it, anyway, we'll get there. So,
Speaker, I know that majority leader is looking very handsome this afternoon. And I know he doesn't want any flooding in his domain. So I'll let this pass. And I've just told him that it looks like today we are the majority because we are more than them, but it's okay. Now I've seen my mentor, we can proceed to take the questions.
Who's your mentor?
Oh, Honorable Arun Idris.
I see.
Is General Asiedu Nketiah's very good friend.
Bye-bye. Sit down. So, honorable members, as we did yesterday, this time we are not going to wait for anybody. So the owner of the questions, if they are not here, any member from the caucus, or even any member at all can just read the question on his or her behalf, and the minister will answer. We are not going to wait for anybody again. So, Honorable Minister, may you take your appropriate seat. So we'll begin with question 223. Question 223. And the question stands in the name of a member from wildest, Honorable Superintendent Retired Peter Tubu. So, Professor, are you do that on his behalf?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have the authority of honorable member to ask his question. I rise to ask. I want to seek your leave, Mr. Speaker.
Oh,
to do
go
so.
ahead. I've given the omnibus permission, so you can.
I rise to ask the Minister for Education what plans the ministry has to adopt and support the Wichau TVET School, which is the only technical and vocational education and training institute in the West District. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Respectfully, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, let me thank you for the opportunity to respond to the question posed by the Honorable Peter Lanchini Tobu. The Wichau TVET School is in the Wichau community in the West District of the Upper West region. The establishment of the Wichau Community Technical and Vocational Institute was initiated and spearheaded by the Paramount Chief, and we should commend him for that, and the good people of Wichau in 2019. Currently, the school has a student enrollment of 147 with a staff strength of 13, comprising 11 teaching staff and 2 non-teaching staff. The school currently has the following facilities: a 6-unit classroom block funded by the Northern Development Authority, a 60-bed capacity dormitory block funded by the District Assembly, and a borehole funded by the Wichau Community Hippo Sanctuary. Mr. Speaker, as the only TVET institute within the district, the Wichau TVET School was formally absorbed in March 2026 into the public education system and has accordingly been included in the 2026-2027 school register. The school is currently running the following programs: electrical engineering, wood technology, garment technology, and business information technology. The school would be rehabilitated under the Star J project. Mr. Speaker, I'm happy to announce that earlier when I appeared before this House, I indicated that together with the Ministry of Finance, we're negotiating with the World Bank for $300 million to support the construction of new schools, senior high school, and rehabilitation of senior high school, and support for technical and vocational educational institutions across the country. Mr. Speaker, skills training and development holds key if Ghana is to succeed to address growing unemployment and underemployment, and we should be investing more in TVET education. Accordingly, the Wichau School will benefit from the World Bank support under the Star J program. I'm currently doing the shortlist, and together with the Minister of Finance, we'll do a common cabinet memo to the President and Cabinet and subsequently to Parliament, and many institutions across the country will benefit from that intervention. Mr. Speaker, we're also working to establish a TVET fund for the country. I have discussed it with the President. He thinks that we can look at 10% get fund allocation annually, and probably I was looking into earmarking some mineral revenue, but that I've been advised by the Minister for Finance that I should give him some time to think through what additional financing he can add to it. But the principle that under the John Mahama administration, Ghana will get its first ever TVET fund will happen. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Yes, Prof, any supplementary question?
I have no complementary question except to thank the Minister for the assurance. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, honorable members, we turn to question 225. Question 225, and that question stands in the name of a member from Pristia Huni Valley, Honorable Robert Wisdom Kujo. Yes.
Thank you, the Right Honorable Speaker. I have the permission and authority from the...
So you can go ahead, please.
All right, thank you. I write to ask the Minister for Education when the following installed gate fund projects in Pristia Huni Valley will be completed. The 18-unit classroom block at St. Augustine Senior High School, Bogoso, the boys' dormitory at Huni Valley Senior High School, the boys' dormitory at Pristia Senior High School, Senior Technical School. Thank you.
Respectfully, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, let me thank you for the opportunity to respond to the question of Honorable Robert Wisdom Kujo. The 18-unit classroom block at St. Augustine Senior High School was awarded in August 2020 to Messrs. Donajos Company Limited at a contract sum of 2,427,893 Ghana cedis. The project is being supervised by Architectural Engineering Services Limited. Payments made so far is around 400,000 of the 2.4 million, and the project remains uncompleted. The Uni Valley Senior High School is located in the Western region, was established in 1975. The school has a population of 1,695 people, made up of 502 male and 1,193 female, with a total staff strength of 114, comprising 90 teaching and 24 non-teaching staff. The construction of boys' dormitory at the Uni Valley Senior High School was awarded far back, Mr. Speaker, November 2016, to Messrs. Boyson Construction West Limited at a contract sum of 997,446,053 Ghana cedis. The project is being supervised by Architectural Engineering Services Limited. Payment made so far 528,769 Ghana cedis. The project is at the roofing stage. Mr. Speaker, in respect of the prestigious Senior High Technical School, also located in the Western region, the school was established in 1991, a day school and a boarding with a student population of 1,735 people. Let me take it one, Mr. Speaker. It's a day boarding. It's a boarding school, Mr. Speaker, with a student population of 1,735 people, male 988, female 747. The school has a staff strength of 91 teaching staff and 14 non-teaching staff. The construction of the single-story dormitory and the 6-unit classroom block was awarded in August 2019 to Messrs. Masodiak Services Limited at a contract sum of 1,849,592.80 Ghana cedis. The project is being supervised by Tedal Real Property Services Limited. Payment made so far 765,810. The dormitory is at the substructure level and the 6th classroom unit at the completion stage. Mr. Speaker, most of the projects listed have stalled and would need raised revision of the outstanding works. The ministry through GETFA has asked all consultants supervising the implementation of these projects to submit updated costs to completion estimates for these outstanding works. And Mr. Speaker, an observation that we are very concerned about: if you awarded a contract in 2016, 10 years on, 2026, the contract is uncompleted, you necessarily should expect that the cost variations is likely to rise higher. And that has implications for revision of contract. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, is of concern to us. Mr. Speaker, I know that currently the GETFA allocates 42% of its total budget revenue to support school feeding under the Free Senior High School program. So 42% of it, what will be left for infrastructure, what will be left for tertiary education, and what will be left for basic education. That's why I have advised that we should realign the financing of GETFund to focus more on basic foundational learning, where literacy and numeracy are important for the future learning success of our people. So, Mr. Speaker, this will be our response to the question. Thank you.
So, Minister, you are saying 42% of GETFund goes to. So, anyway. Yes. Honorable Member, any supplementary question?
No supplementary question.
Thank you
Than to
very
thank
much.
the Minister very well.
Yes. Honorable Member for Efia, I'll give you the opportunity. You are also coming from Western Region. Even though the question appears to be constituency specific. But
yeah, Mr. Speaker, it is for that reason that I rose to seek your view on this now becoming practice of this House, that when a question is asked from a particular constituency, members are not allowed to ask supplementary questions because we claim it is constituency specific. I sought the authorization from one of the members. But if you look at Order 89, from 1, 2, 3, read in totality, there is no provision in the supplementary questions side that denies a member of this House from asking a supplementary question that is emanating from another constituency. I believe that we only took that practice when we deemed that the questions are too long, and for which reason maybe an arrangement between leadership and the chair would arrive at that conclusion. But it's becoming a matter of a practice, which if leadership and then the speaker does not give clarity, members are always denied the opportunity of making follow-up supplementary questions, even if it is coming from a member's question, which is from a constituency. So I thank you for the opportunity in this instance, because you defer that I'm coming from the Western region. But whether from Western region or not, our standing orders give members the privilege to ask supplementary questions, irrespective of whether it is constituency specific or otherwise. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Well. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask a supplementary question, a follow-up question, if you permit me.
Oh, but let me rule on the
yes, please.
Yes, leader.
Yeah, I mean, just to guide the honorable member, if you read Order 89, it says that as soon as a question is answered, any member beginning with the member who asks the question may, without notice, ask a supplementary question for further clarification of any matter of fact on the answer, but the supplementary question shall not introduce a matter not included in the original question. So if you look at it, on the face of it, it doesn't seem to restrict the right to ask supplementary questions. 2 says a member who asks a question may be allowed to ask not more than 3 supplementary questions on the substantive question. And then 3 says any other member may be allowed to ask not more than 2 supplementary questions, except that the majority and minority leaders or co-leaders may each ask not more than 5 supplementary questions on the substantive question. So what you said is right, except that very often the speakers exercise a discretion to manage time. Don't forget that we have a time limit within which we must finish, question time. So we manage it by making those arrangements, but it's not a hard and fact rule that, if it is constituency specific. Because there are some questions that are constituency specific, but they raise issues of national importance, such as the answer that the minister gave regarding technical and vocational education. The minister himself provided room for us to ask a lot of general questions on the financing of technical and vocational education. I really wanted to follow up on those issues, but I restrained myself because of this tradition of constituency-specific questions, because he really put out information there that we could have followed up with some more probing questions and would have had some exciting discussion as a House on that issue. Mr. Speaker, on a day when Ghana has won, a match against Panama, you should be more generous with, question time and allowing supplementary questions, because Ghana is now working. Ghana is working, and the results shows that Ghana is working.
Well. I think the majority leader has, in a way, answered your question. But the whole thing is we are trying to manage time. Ordinarily, we are supposed to use 1 hour for questions. Today, if you go through this other paper, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 questions. So if we are not able to manage it, we will degenerate into a lot of issues. So that's why if the question is constituency specific, at times the question may come from constituency, but you see it has a general outlook. That one we may allow other members to ask questions. But if it is specific to the constituency, we just want to manage time so that we can make time for other things. And like he said, the word is may. The word is may. So that is why we try to do that. So please burden with us.
I'm grateful, Mr. Speaker, for the guidance.
Thank you. Now, let him go to Atiwa East.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister a follow-up question on a statement he made, that 42% of GET funds allocation is spent on school feeding at the senior level. Mr. Speaker, that is good because the students also have to be fed as they go to school. But Mr. Speaker, that is not the core mandate of GET Fund. GET Fund's core mandate is to help in the infrastructure of the schools. I had the opportunity to visit the regions and also to engage the pre-tertiary schools. Mr. Speaker, as we speak now, there's an outstanding infrastructure, uncompleted infrastructure to the tune of between 8 to 10 billion. And so that if you take 42% of the allocation for this, which is not their core mandate, you ask yourself, how much do you give to them to complete the uncompleted infrastructure? We can use other sources of revenue to fund this equally good program, but not the monies that should go to GET Fund for infrastructure. So we will plead with the majority leader and the finance minister that as he brings not the mid-year, but the 2027 budget in November, they should look at this and make sure they give GET Fund enough allocation. One, to address the existing uncompleted infrastructure, as well as give the Ministry of Education enough funding to enable them do what is expected of them. So respectfully, I understand that the students will have to be fed, but then that is not the core mandate of GET Fund. We can use other sources of revenue for that. Minister, what is your view on that, please? Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, let me thank you for the opportunity. As you may recall, somewhere 2017, 2018, the previous government, led then by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, introduced the free senior high school to expand access to secondary education. Integral to that policy was the expansion of free compulsory universal basic education to now include secondary education. So Ghana, as a policy, every Ghanaian child growing up must have access to free compulsory universal basic education, which includes secondary education. Transformative. I would give the previous government the credit for it. But the credit of the present government of President Mahama is one, uncapping GET Fund. Under the previous administration, you capped it. So GET Fund never got enough allocation of what it deserved under its 2.5% VAT rate. So subsequent to the uncapping is a major policy decision of President Mahama that in order that academic calendars are not disrupted for lack of food, lack of payment for it, essential perishables, I want to use GET Fund now to finance feeding under the free senior high school program. That is our government decision, and that we are implementing. So, Mr. Speaker, there is no shortage of food anywhere in any secondary school across the country. But it comes at a price and cost to the mandate of GET Fund to provide for infrastructure. And the focus, as you will recall in our struggle, was to complement, not supplement, government financing of education. But, Mr. Speaker, we want to have free secondary education in Ghana, and therefore we should be able to bear its financial burden. what I have advised again, and best practice everywhere in the world, is for government to invest more in foundational basic education. Because when a child gets literacy right, he gets his learning success right into the future. But we are not investing adequately, and it's not just the current government. In the past, for the last 8 years, commensurate investment in infrastructure for free senior high school was not done. Mr. Speaker, that's what inspired us to go to the World Bank to end double track system, because double track comes with an academic consequence: less contact hours, less learning period. Students have to go home earlier than they should. Mr. Speaker, some of the, and I agree with the chair of the Public Accounts Committee, we can end double track in some schools simply by providing adequate furniture. And some we need to invest in robust infrastructure of classrooms, dormitories, and then laboratories, and then equipping them. So I noted, I just shared this so that when Parliament is reviewing and considering the GET fund, you'll be guided that we have abandoned financing basic education, which is core and integral to the success of the country's future education needs in the last decade, to focus on free secondary education. You have just 1.6 billion to 2 billion going to basic to tertiary education. Of the 9.6 billion, you have 4.2 billion, Mr. Speaker, going to feeding of students in free senior high school. So when our government then in opposition said we will review free senior high school, there were many who interpreted it as cancellation. We have reviewed it subsequent to the National Education Forum, and the review is happening at 3 areas. 1, infrastructure has to be reviewed. Match the exponential increase in numbers, 1,600 to 4,000. Many schools, they queue to use assembly hall. They queue to use dining hall. That is what has happened in the country in the last 8 years. And we seem determined, Mr. Speaker, to correct it, and we'll correct it. But I couldn't agree more with you that we should look for additional resources to support education generally in Ghana. I thank you.
I hope. Yes. Now, available leader, I will grant you that.
Thank you. That is my new portfolio, available leader. Mr. Speaker, our respected senior Minister for Education, I think the issue that was raised by Honorable Abdul Sasari, for me, is a legitimate one. And I will plead with my senior Education Minister to heed to this very important advice. Because you see, that money should have found a place within his outfit and not even get fund. As we speak, the Creative Arts School in my constituency, quite also, has been left unattended to for a very long time. And this money from GET Fund could have been used to complete it. So this is a useful suggestion from her, that let us look at it critically and ensure that such monies for feeding are kept with the Education Ministry, and GET Fund focusing on what it was established so to do. So, Mr. Minister, I think this is a useful one. Let us think about it and get more monies to complete most of the abandoned schools, and also the lack of furniture in most of our schools. The Speaker, turn back for the Creative Arts School, Mr. Minister, we had discussions over this for a very long time. Let it be done. Let it see the light of day by the end of this year. You know, I trust you. I know that you are capable, and you get it done. The Speaker, thank you for indulging me.
Minister, are you responding to it?
Oh, Mr. Speaker, just to note that we will, but to further share that between this year and 2028, under the Star J project, this government will invest 2.5 billion Ghana cedis on education infrastructure for purposes of improving secondary education with the support of the World Bank. Thank you.
Well. So, honorable members, we turn to question 323. 323. And the question stands in the name of a member from Ofuerikrom, Honorable Michael Kwesi Edu. So, yes, honorable available leader, you may take the question for and on behalf of.
As you have directed, I stand to ask the Minister for Education the status of the no fee stress policy, the total number of beneficiaries to date, the amount spent so far on students, the categories of beneficiaries, the universities these students represent, and the relevant years. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, respectful Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, let me thank the Honorable Member for the question. The no fee stress policy is a major transformation social intervention initiative of President Mahama to promote and improve access to tertiary education in Ghana by alleviating the financial burden of students and their families through targeted financial support. The policy was launched successfully 4 July 2025 at the SDA College of Education in Koforidua and is currently active and operational nationwide. As I indicated, Mr. Speaker, to alleviate financial burden of students, Mr. Speaker, I know that members of Parliament daily or even weekly pay school fees, so they know the burden, the shoulder that the President has decided to absorb under the no fees policy. Mr. Speaker, the no academic fee policy 2024-25 academic year, 152,698 validated first-year students benefited at a cost of 399,374,727 Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, for the 2025 academic year ongoing, 159,750 students have benefited so far at a cost of 489,456,427 Ghana cedis. To date, Mr. Speaker, 312,448 students have been assisted under the no fee stress at a total cost of 888,831,000. Mr. Speaker, this is what we have done to support young people desirous of accessing tertiary education. Our policy remains access, relevance, and quality. For free tertiary education for persons with disability, 2025-2026 academic year, 1,530 persons with disability receive full fee and residential coverage at a total amount of 9,837,000. Mr. Speaker, I'm happy to announce that under this government, we are demystifying legal education, and therefore students pursuing law and professional law can now apply for the Student Loan Trust Plus. 1,332 students receive full fee coverage loans paid directly to their institutions. This includes 610 students from the Ghana School of Law, the first of its kind, Mr. Speaker. So the no fee stress initiative have several components. They include the no academic fees policy that I have explained to mitigate the financial burden. So, Mr. Speaker, in the past, we're told that show us one social intervention policy of the NDC and government. President Mahama has appropriately and eloquently responded to this with a no fee stress as a social intervention policy to support young people to have access to higher education. I should thank members of Parliament. Many of you pay school fees at first years, and I'm sure even as you walk into the chamber, you are confronted daily that I haven't been able to pay my fees. Help me out. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honorable Nyakwe, any supplementary question?
I initially didn't have, but per a statement my very good friend Senior made, he has admitted that this is the first time the NDC administration, since it was born, has implemented a social intervention policy. Oh, Mr. Speaker, that was what my very good friend said. And for me, this is a very good policy that I believe will go a long way.
No, now he's available leader, so that's why I will give you the opportunity. So let him finish. Come again. Speak to the microphone.
Speaker, what he says is absolutely incorrect. So we shouldn't even allow him to finish. So please ask your question. I know what you said. So please, you must withdraw that and ask your question.
Honorable Chief
for the
Whip.
records. Speaker.
Honorable Chief Whip,
Yes.
let's be a bit tolerant.
No, we are tolerant.
This is subjective. So that's the way he is thinking. So let's
Mr. Speaker, but these things, they go into the records. They go into the records.
Let's be a bit tolerant.
You must not be encouraged, Mr. Speaker, especially when he's assuming the role as available leadership.
Okay. Honorable Professor.
The Speaker, if I did say anything wrong and he points it out to me, I'll humble myself to, ask you to expunge it. God said that what my senior said. That was why. So if I misunderstood him and you draw my attention to it, I'll yield. And so senior, if you could clarify what you said, so that I'll come back to say that, yes.
Yes, Minister. He's giving you an opportunity to clarify because that is his understanding. That's why I said it's subjective, the way people may also.
You see, Mr. Speaker, there are popular campaign issues that finds expression in the manifestos of political parties. If you take Metro Mass Transport, like it or not, you have to credit President J. Kufuor for Metro Mass Transport. I'm saying on authority that John Dramani Mahama will be remembered for initiating and implementing the no-fee stress as a social intervention policy, including the Mahama case and many others. I thank you.
Yes.
Well, I thank Minister for clarifying what I thought he said earlier on. But I want to plead with the minister and the ministry and the government that we should make sure that because it is a no-fee stress policy, the idea is that we don't want to put the students under stress when it comes to payment of fees. So if we can ensure that they get the monies early before they start the program, otherwise going to get a loan for you to be reimbursed will still put you under the stress that we don't want them to go through. So this is some suggestion I want to put before the respected former leader, Minister for Education. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Speaker, very good advice. Early and timely release of the money, particularly at the beginning of the academic year, September, October, would be more productive than delays in its releases. I've shared same with the Honorable Minister for Finance. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honorable Efia.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, coming from Efia, where we have the Takoradi Technical University, the minister visited some time ago, not long ago. Mr. Speaker, the reality is we have a lot of students currently in school who have not been validated nor had their fees paid to them. And it's a regular concern. Per the data that the minister gave, he didn't give us indication as to the number of students currently in year 1 or year 2, either from the 2024-25 academic year or 2025-26 academic year, which is outstanding, and when they intend to complete the validation and get the fees paid. So I want to find out from the Honorable Minister, what is the ministry doing to pay for those who have still not been validated and those whose fees have not been paid for the 24 and 25 academic year? I thank you, Mr.
Yes,
Speaker.
Honorable Minister.
Speaker, thank you very much. I was with the honorable member at the Takoradi Technical University, where again, he was there when we gave assurances that into 2027, the GET Fund will make a minimum allocation of 10 million to support each of the technical universities across the country, total 100 million. Mr. Speaker, we would honor that. There is no outstanding obligation in respect of no fee stress for 2024, 2025, 2025, 2026. The Honorable Minister for Finance has made releases adequately to the student loan trusts, which is executing the no fee stress and the free tertiary education for persons with disability. What we do is just authentication. Are you the real student? Are you a student of this particular institution? And more importantly, are you a first-year student? When that is satisfactory, then payment is done. So the Honorable Minister of Finance have made adequate releases to the student loan trust, and they are currently disbursing. Thank you.
Honorable, I've given you one slot. Okay.
Just to tell the Honorable Minister that I would get back to him after I've gotten those concerns, and I'll bring it to your attention. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Well, thank you, honorable members. So we turn to question 324. Question 324. A member from Akuapem North, Honorable Samuel Ewuku.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have the authority from honorable member and with your kind permission to ask. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask the Minister for Education the steps the ministry is implementing to address the infrastructural deficit inherent in special needs schools in Akuapem North constituency. That's school for the blind and school for the deaf.
Respectfully, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, let me thank you very much for the opportunity. The government has decided to, from the 1st of July 2026, implement another social intervention of free education for all persons with special needs and with supportive assistive devices. Accordingly, Mr. Speaker, in the GET Fund formula of 2026, an amount of 100 million Ghana cedis was allocated for that purpose. I was in Akropong for their anniversary celebration and will follow up to deal with it. Mr. Speaker, under the Star J program, we have funding to construct 2 special needs education across the country. We are looking at some location in the Kintampo district and 1 in Ho in the Volta region to benefit from those special needs facilities. Whilst we will rehabilitate the Akuapem school the honorable member have mentioned. I thank you.
Thank you very much. My sister, any supplementary question?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. No supplementary.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, honorable members, we turn to question 397. 397. That is member from Talensi, Honorable Daniel Dun Mahama. Yes, Daniel.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. I would like to ask the Minister of Education, when Borogatanga Senior High School, located in Winkogo, in the Talensi district, be fenced.
Yes, Minister.
Mike. Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. Bolgatanga Senior High School was founded in 1970 in Zuarungu. The school started with a student population of 75 and a teaching staff strength of 3 with 8 supporting staff at the time. Due to lack of space for expansion, the school in 1976 was relocated to its current located Winkogo, which is its current location. The school currently has a total student population of 2,528 with a teaching staff strength of 176, 52 non-teaching staff. The school, since moving to its current location, does not have a fence wall. Mr. Speaker, the need to construct a fence wall for the school cannot be overemphasized, as the school is open to Bolga-Tamale Highway, and therefore it poses danger to students, teachers, and even workers in the area. The ministry will prioritize the project. Subject to the availability of funds, we'll see what we can do to construct the wall. Mr. Speaker, in that area, the conflict in that area has affected even the presence of teachers and has affected the quality of teaching and learning. Therefore, priority will be given to that area if we have some investment to make to expand infrastructure for education in the enclave. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Daniel, any supplementary question?
Oh, I thank the minister for this quick response. Thank you.
Very well. So, honorable members, from Talensi, let's move to Bekwai. Bekwai. Yes, Bekwai. Honorable Ralph Upokwe-Desai.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have the authority of the honorable member of Bekwai to ask this question on his behalf. With your leave.
Yes, I've given the general, the omnibus permission, so just go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask the Minister for Education what interventions are in place to expand digital learning tools and reliable internet access to public schools in rural and peri-urban areas.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, let me thank you for the opportunity to respond to the question of Honorable Ralph Pokwe, member for Bekwai. The future of education is digital education and building digital skills. The ministry recognizes the significance of the emerging digital age, and therefore teaching and learning across all levels of education and across all segments of our society, be it rural or urban, must benefit from digital education infrastructure. But Mr. Speaker, the truth is that since the early 50s and 70s, our schools were not built anticipating the digital broadband internet infrastructure. It was just bricks and mortar and then a window and a door. Now it's important that into the future, when we are building a school, we make room for internet availability and its connectivity. So the ministry currently has what we call the Center for National Distance Learning and Open Schooling, CENLOS, which is responsible for driving our digital education agenda. In the light of this, I'll be going to Cabinet and subsequent to Parliament for its formal establishment under an Act of Parliament. The ministry, through CENLOS, is actively implementing targeted interventions to improve digital literacy among schools in deprived regions, particularly to ensure equitable preparation for the BEC. So, Mr. Speaker, as I announced earlier, currently we are revising curriculum from kindergarten to junior high school, and accordingly we want to introduce electronics, robotics, coding, and artificial intelligence at the basic foundational learning in order that our young learners will be equipped with it at a very tender early age. That is being done, and that will require some financial resources to get it done. I expect that NACA, for which the ranking member for education works so closely with, will complete the revision, submit it for policy consideration, and I'll come back to Parliament for a revised curriculum. Mr. Speaker, one of the objectives of the revised curriculum is to let Ghanaian learners know teamwork and learn patriotic values. You say you want to fight corruption. Ethical values must be taught at the basic foundational learning, and matters of financial literacy. We'll introduce all that into the revised curriculum, Mr. Speaker. So we'll work with SENLOS to get many of this done. We have the iBox, which was initiated by the previous government, and we currently one laptop per student, which was done for a category and number of teachers. Is also there is a dedicated opportunity for laptop for students at the free senior high school level. I've asked them to elevate the distribution to ensure that every student deserving of it has it, because the curriculum is inbuilt in it. We've zero-rated it and is ongoing across the country. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honorable.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and the Minister for his answer. If the Minister may come back again, we want to have some concrete measures as to how this expansion of digital learning is going to be done in the rural and the peri-urban areas. And from what we've seen in the Ministry of Education, most of the thing is about allocation, and none is being implemented. So we want the minister to tell us how. Because, Mr. Speaker, now digital skills is like literacy and numeracy, which is going to be basic in our learning, whether in TVET education or in grammar education. So we don't want this disparity and the inequality that has existed to continue as a country. Just here, a couple of days ago, we talked about the African child. And these are some of the things that if we don't become conscious and deliberate about it and implement, but just mention figures without committing to it, it won't help. So how would the minister, one, tell us how is he going to do this expansion? Because I've looked at the answer and we don't see the figures. We're just talking about 1 or 2 schools, and that is not what we are looking at. And also, what commitment?
Yes, Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I believe that every ministry implements policies and interventions subject to budgetary allocation made available to it. Within those budgetary constraints, we'll prioritize investment in digital education. I've said that we have to revise curriculum. I'm sure the young learners here would have loved to have tablets so that they themselves can begin to use it and learn with it. As a country, we need to invest more on digital education infrastructure. There are many schools in Ghana which are not even connected to electricity, let alone connected to the internet. How are you going to have access? But technology have improved, and there's now what we call offline grades of some of these tablets. They don't need electricity connectivity. They may be able to do it. We have just signed a memorandum of understanding with Google, which was narrowed to language, mother tongue language. And I asked Google to expand it to the 12 official languages of Ghana. And they committed that they will do that. They are working very closely with the University of Ghana and the University of Science and Technology in expanding investment on AI-related technology to facilitate digital learning. So, Mr. Speaker, we will do our best within the constraints of budget. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, we are now moving to Efija Kwabre South on question 421 by Honorable Damata Ama Apienima Salam. But before then, kindly indulge me to acknowledge our visitors at the public gallery. We have Mount Olives Baptist School, They are here being led by Victor Hodonu, who is a teacher, and the school is located in the Adentan constituency. Adentan constituency. And your number is 50. The second school is Cornerstone Preparatory Vadpo. Cornerstone Preparatory Vadpo. They are here being led by Stephen Dobre, who is also a teacher, and the school is located in the North Dye constituency. North Dye constituency. And their number is 63. The third school is in Indalin Montessori School. Indalin Montessori School. They are also here being led by Stephen Saba. Stephen Saba, who is the head teacher, and the school is located in the Abrikuma North constituency. Abrikuma North constituency. And your number is 44. The last but not the least school is Right to Dream Academy. Right to Dream Academy. They are also here being led by Samuel Kweku, who is a teacher, and the school is located in the Sojaman constituency. A Sojaman constituency. And your number is 25. All of you here as visitors are students, and incidentally, you have the Minister for Education on the floor answering questions about education. So I believe you are happy to have your minister on the floor answering questions. So you are welcome. We wish you a pleasant stay in Parliament, and we wish you well. Go and study hard so that tomorrow when we are not here, you come and take over from us. So, question 421. Honorable Member for Fijakwa South, Honorable Damata Ama Apienima Salam. Honorable, you have the floor now. The Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Education what steps the ministry is taking to address the exclusion of Tewu Ghana from University Governing Councils per, in quote, JTEX Tewu TUC only directive, and how the ministry intends to ensure fair dialogue and industrial harmony. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, respectfully, Mr. Minister.
Mr. Speaker, let me thank the Honorable Damata for the question, and to respond that I won't accept that there's exclusion. We are implementing legislation, and the Teachers and Educational Workers Union, Tewu Ghana, is a national trade union representing non-teaching personnel in the education sector, affiliated with the Trade Union Congress Ghana. They advocate for fair labor conditions, improve welfare and professional development of education support staff across all institutions of Ghana. Mr. Speaker, what happened was a breakaway of one of the Tewu groups from Tewu TUC, and they now insisting on the right that on the governing council, don't limit it to Tewu TUC, but Tewu Ghana. But once the legislation is not revised, Mr. Speaker, it puts us in a difficulty. What I did as minister was to write to GTEC to give me institutional representation per the law. Then, Mr. Speaker, when I went to the University for Development Studies to inaugurate their council, I was greeted with a major protest by Tewu. And then for Kwame Nkrumah University of Technology, they even embarked on a strike action to protest. Mr. Speaker, I'm advised that the matter is currently before the National Labour Commission for determination, and therefore I would stay further comment on it. In accordance with the directives of the Commission, the Teachers and Educational Workers Union of Ghana have been instructed to engage and work with the National Labour Officer to facilitate the resolution of the matter. We acknowledge the contribution of TEO to the effective administration and smooth running of our public universities. Their role in non-teaching and technical support remain critical to tertiary education delivery. So, Mr. Speaker, my advice is that when we come next, I'll be here. When we come next on any legislation, Parliament should guide us in couching the words who represents that category of workers. For us, we respect freedom of association and will continue to uphold that right of workers. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable, any supplementary question?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The minister mentioned the ministry's engagement with the key stakeholders. I would like to know from the minister that if there are timelines as far as this problem is concerned, or this engagement is concerned.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I don't have the specific legislation here, but Parliament assisted us to pass a new legislation for the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Knowing that this problem existed, Parliament helped us cure it by defining who represents the worker union, both senior staff and junior staff. And into the future, that is the model we would adopt. The difficulty is that once it is in the law, you have to show fidelity and respect to the provisions of the law. They have not been happy with me at all as minister, and they have protested very strongly, and they don't want exclusion. For us, it deepens and betters the government of those universities. For our administration, university councils are significant vehicles for the effective running of those institutions of higher learning. We don't interfere at the ministerial level what happens at the councils of the universities, save they are subject to regulatory oversight by the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. There's no further supplementary
Thank you, my sister.
I'm grateful to the minister.
Thank you, my sister. So let's turn to question 423. Question 423. A member from Himain Lower Dentura, Honorable Lawrence Agyensam.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Education when the ministry plans to supply No, he's giving omnibus.
Honorable members, earlier on, when we started, I gave that omnibus bellway, yes. So, Honorable, may go on.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. The Chief Whip is heckling a first-timer. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Education when the ministry plans to supply the following schools with student desks, beds, tables, and chairs. 1, Himain Secondary Technical School. And 2, Jukwa
Mr. Speaker, the ministry acknowledges the challenge of insufficient furniture in many schools across the country, which is affecting teaching and learning, and then the furniture deficit in our basic secondary schools. To facilitate this, Mr. Speaker, the GET Fund currently is undertaking some procurement of furniture, and when that is done, it will be distributed across schools in the country. There is adequate provision in the GET Fund formula for furniture. They've just started the procurement process. I'm sure a warrant for commencement certificate is with the Honorable Minister for Finance, and when that is done, some furniture was procured for 2025, Honorable, and some have been distributed across schools in the country.
Well. Honorable member, are you having any supplementary question?
Yes, please.
Okay, let's
Mr.
hear you.
Speaker, I'm happy that the minister has said that this is a nationwide issue. Can he give us some timelines on this? Well, it's very, very important.
Minister, can you give timelines?
Mr. Speaker, I only can assure my honorable colleague that Heman Secondary Technical School and Juakwas Secondary Technical School, I've taken note of them and they'll be prioritized when the furniture arrive. And I'll relate to him directly to make sure that he relates to the appropriate authority for the schools to benefit from the furniture. But Mr. Speaker, I'm assuring honorable members that government through Get Fund is procuring adequate furniture for distribution this year. I don't control procurement processes. Subject to its completion, when they supply them, we'll engage with members and get them distributed. Many schools across the country are struggling. I've promised the Honorable Ahmed that I'll be visiting a school completed in the Weja Bawe area. Before you do the visit, the furniture must be available so that I can declare it open and functional. And that we will do if the procurement processes are completed. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Minister, pursuant to your answer, I mean, you acknowledge that this is a nationwide issue. I mean, that's one of my headaches. Schools in my constituency, they are all on me. So if you are prioritizing others, then the priority should be extended to the good people of Omina. Very well. Yes, Honorable.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I would like to also inform the minister that whilst he's prioritizing the constituencies, you should remember New Dublin, since we have other issues too. Thank you.
Thank you. So let's now move to Kwadaso. Professor Kinsenyako, you may now take your own question. On question 486.
Mr. Speaker, I would like to ask the Minister for Education what measures the ministry has implemented to ensure enhanced security in our pre-tertiary schools in the wake of the unfortunate incident that occurred at the St. Louis Senior High School, where 2 students attempted to sneak out of school by hiding in the boot of a car on 30th June 2025. Thank you.
I see. Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. The ministry is ensuring the safety and security of students, teachers, and staff in all pre-tertiary educational institutions across the country. Over the years, we have not allowed for financial clearance for the employment of persons in the category of non-teaching staff, the security-related component of it. We are doing a few, and where 2 students attempted to leave the school premises by hiding in the boot of a vehicle. The ministry wishes to assure the House that a number of security measures are already in place in our schools to safeguard students and maintain discipline. Mr. Speaker, the students who were involved in discipline acts of hiding in a car and smuggling to town were given sanctions based on the code of conduct for learners. We intend to hold a major national conference on stemming out the growing indiscipline in the country. And I'm sure the honorable member, given his standing and stature, will be invited to the conference. We are looking for venue either in Sunyani or Kumasi. We have to engage. If you find a Ghanaian student go to school with a weapon or a knife, Mr. Speaker, that is un-Ghanaian. That is not our training, and that cannot be the training we want these young people to be exposed to. but agreeable that there is growing in discipline in our school. Mr. Speaker, I share this interesting example. I was taking a walk in Tamale behind the wall of Vitim Secondary School, just taking a walk to my home. I saw a student scale the wall and he fell in front of me by the wall. He didn't need to do that. But many of the schools don't even have the walls. Like my attention was drawn to Boku, as I said, in the conflict area, we have to improve the walling of the schools. You had people attack students because they had easy access to it. But that also, you need financial resources to be able to execute that.
Well, yes. Honorable Professor Nyako.
Mr. Speaker, I'm going to put the Honorable Minister. These responses are heartwarming, especially the plan to have the National Conference on Indiscipline. And I think that, Minister, there is something that we will encourage you to do. And also the desire to recruit security personnel to man the school. So I don't have any further questions, just to say that these interventions, if we're able to implement them, will help us in promoting discipline in our school. So, Mr. Speaker, I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you very much. From Kwada, so let me now turn to Hohoy. Hohoy, Honorable Thomas Walanyo. Yes, you have the floor now. You may ask your question.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask the Honorable Minister for Education the current status of the completion of the permanent campus for the University of Health and Allied Sciences, UHAS, in Hohoe, and what timeline the ministry is working to ensure the completion. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to respond to the Honorable Thomas Walanyo on the University of Health and Allied Sciences, UHAS, located in the Volta region, established by an Act of Parliament in 2011 as Ghana's first public university dedicated solely to education, training, research, and service in the health sciences. Mr. Speaker, the school is doing very, very well. The school was established to address the country's growing need for highly skilled health professionals and to contribute to the improvement of healthcare delivery through innovative teaching, community-based training, and research. Since its establishment, UHAS has expanded its academic programs and infrastructure to support the training of medical, nursing, and public health, and allied health and other health-related professionals. Mr. Speaker, I visited the school, and the road infrastructure to the school is in a very deplorable state. I've subsequently written to the Honorable Minister for Roads, the Honorable Kwame Govers, to look at the road infrastructure generally of all the universities in the country and to consider awarding a contract for improvement in the road network of all our tertiary institutions. I'm sure it's receiving his favorable attention. Mr. Speaker, the attitude of our government, particularly with higher education, is to move away from paper declaration of campuses to investing in infrastructure ahead of the establishment of it. So President Mahama has constituted the Amuaku Nuama Committee, which is looking at expanding public universities across the country. It will advise the President and the ministry as to where a particular university and for what purpose should be located. We are considering establishing the Faculty of Pharmacology in Keita in the Volta region. So our attitude will be to send infrastructure to Keita so that we can have a Faculty of Pharmacology. You didn't do it, we'll do it for them. Thank you.
Belware, yes. Thomas.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker.
Any supplementary question?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Okay.
I thank the Honorable Minister, but all what he referred to, is about who That's a campus, the main campus in Ho. But I'm referring to Hohwe campus. That's a satellite campus of UHAS in Hohwe. Currently, we have a structure on their new site, and the old site, they are just using, Honorable Minister, just 3 classroom blocks. No, not even 3 classrooms, but 3 classrooms that the entire university is using, with a population of 3,200 students. And we have a new campus that is up to about 70% complete. And that's where the question is being asked, not the whole campus, Mr. Speaker.
Very well. Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the honorable member is very right. Let me focus on Hohoi. At my visit to the school, a slide was presented to me. Work was around 54% complete. We'll get fund to prioritize it and ensure its early completion. I thank you.
Well. I hope, Thomas, you're okay now. You want, or you still have supplementary questions?
Almost.
Okay, let's see.
Mr. Speaker, I would like to know from the minister if there is a dedicated source of fund for the Hohwe UHAS campus. Because anytime I go to Fodome, where the school is located, the question the Paramount Chief, asks is whether there is a dedicated, because Get Fund is struggling to complete the school they started in 2013. So we would like to know from the minister if there is a dedicated fund for completion of the UHAS.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, UHAS will receive its fair share of infrastructure through dedicated investment from the GET Fund. It is receiving favorable response from the GET Fund. I was with the Lady Vice Chancellor at a ceremony day before yesterday, and we've had some conversations how to assist her. Mr. Speaker, because of the IMF program, it was difficult for government to source commercial or non-concessionary financing. Part of this university was developed with some Chinese government support. We are seeking to renew that and see what that can do to help the infrastructure. But honorable colleague, be assured that GET Fund will ensure the completion of the KETA. It's not just Hohoi. I was shown 2 areas where work was 54% and then 69% complete. I instructed the council to liaise with me and we'll GET Fund, so the contractor will be returned to site, be assured. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We now move to Takwan Shuayim from Hohoi. So, Honorable Issa Salufu Taylor, you have the floor now on question 539.
Thank you, the right Honorable Speaker. I rise to ask the Minister of Education how the ministry is addressing the persistent teacher shortages, particularly in rural and mining constituencies such as Takwa and Shuayim. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, let me thank the Honorable Issa Salifu. The Ghana Education Service, the GS Teacher Deployment Norms and Guidelines ensure equitable distribution of teachers for purpose of improved quality education delivery and to promote efficient utilization of human resources across the country. The teacher deployment is guided by principles of equity, need-based allocation, efficiency, and professional relevance. Deployment decisions are based on approved vacancies, staffing gaps, enrollment levels, curriculum demands, and teacher qualification and subject specialization. The norms prioritize schools with critical shortages, especially in rural and deprived communities, and focuses on subject areas such as mathematics, ICT, STEM, French, and special education. Teacher allocation also considers approved pupil-teacher ratios, school structure, workload, and timelines demands to ensure balanced staffing across the country. Takwa and Shuayim is located in the Takwa and Shuayim municipality of the Western region. The constituency has a total of 237 schools, comprising of 49 KG, 92 primary schools, 96 junior high school, and a total of 1,078 teachers have been deployed in the constituency. Mr. Speaker, as I reported to this House, our needs across the country will be to recruit up to 50,000 teachers if we are to meet the minimum requirement. I have financial clearance for the recruitment of 7,000 teachers. That is in the process. And Mr. Speaker, those categories that we are recruiting will begin work on the 1st of July. I'll be happy to look at the Takwans UAM case together with Sangule, which is also deprived, Sola in the Savannah area, and then Buaku into the Western North area. So in these applications, we've created room for those deprived regions and districts, but I will do per the clearance that is available to the ministry and the GS. In total, we'll be recruiting plus tertiary education from 1st of July, we should be recruiting 10,000 more, 7,000 teachers, and then a category for non-teaching staff, which will be about 1,000. And then we reserve the other one for the faculty of the universities across the country. We've given some numbers to technical universities, and then to the universities have also gotten some minimum numbers to beef up their faculties. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Supplementary question. Mr. Speaker. I wish to ask a supplementary question.
Can you allow me to finish with the owner of the question before I come to you? Yes. Honorable Taylor.
Mr. Speaker, I thank the Honorable Minister for the response. Could the Minister kindly indicate whether Takwan Soyam constituency has been identified as a beneficiary under the planned recruitment of 7,000 teachers, and what criteria will be used in allocating these teachers to constituencies? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, earlier on, the issue of constituency specific came to the fore. Now, when you look at this particular question, even though the question is coming from Takwan Suayim, you can see that it has a wider scope. So I will allow other people who are also interested or desirous or having an issue regarding teachers in their district, I will also take those questions from them. So, Honorable Member for Fantiakwa
South.
Fantiakwa South, let's hear you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I wish to ask the Minister for Education if he would consider supporting myself and my district director to speak to the landlords of the teachers In my district, we have 68 teachers who are missing at the basic school. They have been priced out of their households. Rent is now at 700 cedis a month. So we plan to go visit with the landlords and appeal to them that they are performing a patriotic duty, and as such, they should consider them. We wish that someone from the ministry will join us to be able to appeal to these landlords. Thank you.
Very well. That's another dimension. Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I have taken note of the honorable member's concern. And Mr. Speaker, currently within government, there is ongoing discussion led by the administrator of the Common Fund. I'm sure it's related to one of the questions I'll be answering today on the Teacher Dabre initiative of President Mahama. We intend to provide for 50,000 housing units across the country. Mr. Speaker, the intention is for the district assemblies to own this. And accordingly, the President constituted a committee chaired by the Minister for Education with the Minister for Local Government. We'll be doing a joint cabinet memorandum with the Honorable Minister for Finance to get this running. The idea is that GSOP, which is the pension fund of the Ministry of Education, can be used adequately as collateral to provide for these houses. What we are looking at, Mr. Speaker, is that we should build housing units which will cost 25 to 30,000 for ownership of the teacher, but with an understanding that they will agree that you can do monthly deduction to service the ownership of it. But as I said, this is currently at discussion stage. We will be meeting with the administrator of the District Assembly Common Fund. I've assured them that GSOP will support it. The government of Ghana will provide some money, 250 to 500 million Ghana cedis for housing dedicated to the Teacher Dabre initiative. But your particular matter is urgent. So let's have a conversation beyond this parliamentary question and answer session, and I'll see what support we can give you. Mr. Speaker, I've taken note of the request of honorable members across the aisle that you do need teachers in your constituencies. And I'm engaging the Honorable Minister for Finance to have some understanding to increase the number of clearance he's given us for teachers so that we can manage some of these legitimate, genuine demands of members. I thank you.
Yes, let me go to Afajeto South. Honorable Frank Afriye.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Speaker, let me use the opportunity to commend the Minister for the giant step within a matter of a year and a half for recruiting about 7,000 teachers. I really wish to ask the Minister with the greatest respect whether he's able to consider another layer to this whole teacher deficit issue. Speaker, that had to do with the unfair distribution of teachers. Even within one district, there are towns that are very resourceful, so every teacher wants to be in that town. And then there are some other villages that no teacher really wants to. I want to find out from the Minister, Jerry. Speaker, I want to find out from the Minister if he's in a position to give directive to GES to lessen the requirements for transfer of teachers from one district to another. Indeed, sometimes it takes about a month, 2 or more for a teacher to go for release letter, go for birth cert, go for this and that. If the minister is willing to give directive to GES so that the various district directors can lessen the requirement. Thank you.
Very well.
Mr. Speaker, we are aware of the acute shortage of teachers across the country. The President has some thinking, but is subject to his discussion and conclusion. His view is that when the new decentralization policy is adopted, we may consider adjusting the District Assembly Common Fund under Article 252 upwards from 5% to 7.5%. And the present thinking to decentralize recruitment of teachers is that 1% of that 7.5% should be given to the localized education support division of the assemblies, because he thinks that the assemblies should be those even recruiting teachers and not the headquarters at GES and responsible to them. Then the other 1% in his thinking should go to health. But this is, as I've indicated, is in discussion. But he thinks that even disciplining, if a teacher goes wrong, why must he come to headquarters to be disciplined by the GES? So we've taken note of your concern. We'll give those directives. But Mr. Speaker, again, some of these problems are created by our own demands. Members will tell you that I want this person transferred, I want this person moved, I want this secondment to be done. So sometimes it is hard to manage it. But we've taken the particular issue and I engage with honorable members on this matter. As I have said, we have limited clearance for recruitment. but there are sufficient vacancies across the country. Subject to the availability of resources and clearance, we can do more. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes. Let me go to Honorable Yindam. You've spoken, I'll come back, but let me give the to Honorable Yindam first.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. Minister, I'm riding on the back of my colleague. We are looking at teacher redistribution and the bureaucracy involved. You get a teacher from Accra who wants to go back to Bandai. But the bureaucracy of getting the person transferred now is so difficult. Is there a way the ministry can soften this policy for teachers who are willing to move from urban areas to the rural areas to teach? And there are schools now too, teachers are overstaffed. But some places too, teachers are not there at all. Maybe what deliberate policy will you take so that there can be some kind of even redistribution of teachers to our various schools? Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I will direct the Director General of GES accordingly to consider the redistribution of teachers. But the truth also remains that many of the deprived areas remain unattractive, and the concentration is in the urban, peri-urban areas. But I will look at it and see what we can do so that there will be no limitations to those movements, but without compromising their availability. As I said, subject area. For instance, Mr. Speaker, even language. I've had a request from His Royal Highness, the Ghana Chair, about Ghana teachers in Greater Accra region. If you want to encourage the teaching of mother tongue language, then allow them to recruit persons with that background. We are looking at that. So I've taken note of it. I have no hesitation directing the Director General of GES. I'm sure the ministry is taking note. We would go and see if we can revise and adopt a new redistribution policy to address the teacher deficit across the country. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Yes. Let him go to Kita.
Thank you, Speaker. I would like to find out from the minister, for about 4 years ago, the portal for some municipality and district were not open for teachers to be recruited, and we were disadvantaged, especially Keta. Now that the minister is going to do some recruitment, I would like to find from him whether there is a plan to actually amend that so that at the end of the day, equity prevails.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, these processes are done openly and transparently. We open the portal across the country and in every district. But Mr. Speaker, within 3 to 4 hours, for a vacancy of 7,000, we had over 49,000 applying. I didn't want to have a crisis how to manage the numbers, so we had to immediately close the numbers at 49,000 so that we can pick the best 7,000 of the over 40,000. But we will take note of the concerns of deprived districts across the country, and we'll do the redistribution accordingly.
Yes. Let me give it to my teacher, my senior. So you sit down.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I've heard the answers from the minister. At some point, I had an impression that we don't have adequate teachers, that we are in short of teachers. But what he has said so far suggests that the problem is financial, and that there are a lot of teachers that have applied, but the country and our budget is not able to assist or admit all of them. I want to find out from the minister, having realized this problem, what are the steps that as a country we would adopt to clear these qualified teachers who cannot be assimilated into the system? Thank you.
Very well, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, it's largely a function of the management of the compensation budget of the Ministry of Finance and the government of Ghana. GES remains the largest employer in Ghana. We have over 360,000 teachers across the country. So any increase in the number is much against our contribution to the overall compensation budget of government. Our attitude as a country has been to train teachers. So you had UCC, University of Education, Winneba, and the teacher training colleges across the country. Mr. Speaker, for 2023, the batch that completed teacher education training were not recruited. 2024 were not recruited. 2025 not recruited. So you have a huge backlog of trained teachers who are not being engaged because of its implications on the compensation budget. So currently, even the 7,000 that we are discussing, the difficulty is what number of the 2023 batch are you taking? And what number of the 2024 batch are you taking? I'm sure my colleague, the Honorable Fojo, who previously was at the Ministry of Education, went through the same stress I'm going through. You can only proceed when you have financial clearance from the Ministry of Finance to engage and recruit. And as I have announced, a new batch of 7,000 will begin work from the 1st of July. Only yesterday, I engaged the Director General of the GES together with the managers of the portal, the system, to see how we get this process going. Every year, you have over 5,000 teachers produced in Ghana, but you don't have the clearance to be able to engage them. But I admit that there is acute shortage of teachers in the country. As I have indicated, our national need and requirement will be to recruit for about 50,000 teachers. I only have clearance for 7,000 and for about 3,000 for the tertiary education space. That we are considering now.
Very well. Yes, my brother, let him hear you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I want to inquire from the Minister regarding riverine communities. When it comes to Pro-East, we have a very huge riverine community. And most of these communities, you post teachers around, and within the next minute, they get themselves out of the place. Is it possible to consider the district where the opportunity will be given to the directorate to rather send people to those communities? Because there are people who school there, people who live there, and they want to go back to their people to help them. Can we consider such communities? Thank you very much.
Minister, isn't this a practical solution?
Mr. Speaker, it's the legislations we pass. You pass a legislation which gave the mandate to the GES, which is centralized. You have a Director General of GES sitting in Accra at the headquarters with regional directors across the country. For instance, Free Senior High School. Coordinators were appointed for Free Senior High School. I ordinarily would have thought that this could be provided by regional directors and district directors of education instead of a new bureaucracy. But maybe because it was a major policy decision, government decided to create a secretariat for the Free Senior High School. But for all intents and purposes, that is the mandate of the Director General of the GES and regional and district directors. But we are reviewing it, and at the appropriate time, I'll come and make a major policy announcement to this August House. Mr. Speaker, I've heard the concern of our honorable colleague. As I said, there is new thinking that with an adoption of a new decentralization policy, we should get education and health decentralized so that recruitment is done at the district level, discipline at the district level, but it to be a function of whether they have money to be able to do that. And as I shared with you, the thinking of the president is that adjust common fund to 7%, dedicate 1% to health, the other 1% to education, and ask them to be devolved and decentralized at that area. For us, why will a teacher do some wrong in Nandom and you want to bring him to Accra to subject him to disciplinary proceedings at the GES headquarters? We should get that done at the district level. So maybe we'll consider a possible revision of the GES Act, Mr. Speaker, to respond to these contemporary needs.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honorable Member for Finso North.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to ask the Minister of Education. According to him, he said government planned to recruit approximately 50,000 teachers and 10,000 non-teaching staff in 2025 budget, and that was here in Parliament. And per the data I have from GES alone, not coming to Ghana TVET service, just GES alone, they are in need of about 57,590 staff, about 10,050 non-teaching, the rest are teaching. So I would like to ask the minister, has the government abandoned his policy or his promise to the Ghanaian people to conduct a direct recruitment to the teaching service right from the colleges of education? Has that promise to teachers and graduates in this country, automatic posting to GES and TVET service, has it been abandoned by the government? And two, what happened to the 50,000 and 10,000 that was promised in 2025 budget? And lastly, since January 2025, how many teachers have been employed?
Members, I allow him to. The minister can do whatever we all know can do. So those ones he cannot answer. He will be frank with us. So, Minister, please, let's hear you.
Mr. Speaker, the country has evolved and the country has undertaken some far-reaching reforms that will benefit education in the foreseeable future. Mr. Speaker, for instance, what my colleague Chair has said, you now have the Commission for Technical and Vocational Education, you now have the GES, and therefore when we are recruiting, we allocate both for TVET and for GES. But there's a difference between need and what I have budgetary approval for. My need is between 50 to 90,000 teachers, but I have clearance for 7,000, and that's what I'm making do with. Thank you.
Honorable members, we spent so much time on this particular question. The minister himself has signaled that I should allow Honorable Intim Fojo to ask questions. So, Honorable Member for Asin South.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I appreciate the concerns of the minister and the sincerity that as a Minister for Education, you can have your plans, but execution of the employment is subject to financial clearance. Based on that, I want to find out from the minister, has the government now departed from its policy of automatic placement of teachers, as was popularly announced in the manifesto? That is a question. and to also agree with the minister, and to agree with the minister that particularly when it comes to teachers.
You asked a fantastic question. Allow somebody else to also ask this question.
Yes. And particularly when the minister makes the point about the challenges, peculiar challenges in the mining areas. It is one area we need to have a conversation on. And I want to support what the minister said regarding the challenges in the mining areas. These are areas where the minimum wage for a week is about 4,000 cedis. And then you're sending teachers there whose salaries across the country is not even able to meet a week's earning, the average earning in such areas. So we need to have a more comprehensive, it's not a political discussion, we need to have a more comprehensive discussion on that. But my question on the policy departure, thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, there is no policy departure. What I do know is that in 2023, there was no automatic placement. 2024, there was no automatic placement. I thank you.
So, honorable members, please.
Yes, Speaker.
Honorable members,
yes, Speaker.
Education issues are broad, and if we restrict ourselves to this is just one question. I have counted 14 separate supplementary questions. I think we will move on. Asafojo, you just came in. Please, let's move on. So we will turn to question 604. Question 604. Member for Saraga North. Saraga North. Honorable Alaji Alasa Mumuni. Please, you have the floor now.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I have the authority of the honorable member to ask the Minister for Education to the steps the ministry is taking to complete the abandoned E-block at Palby for the establishment of the first ever senior high school for the Salga North constituency of the Northeast Gonja district in the Savannah region. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I appeared before this House earlier and indicated that GET Fund was to deploy contractors back to site to many of these uncompleted E-blocks, and Palbe is a beneficiary of it. There are about 27 of it that we are looking at the revised figures, and I'm sure my colleague, the Honorable Mumuni, is aware. I've discussed it with him. In fact, I was on that route to Salaga for a funeral, and sometimes when you turn and look at it, even in that corridor, he had a lot of basic school infrastructure that were in very deplorable state, and I took note of that. We'll see what we do to support him in that area. Around that area, Mr. Speaker, we have noticed, for instance, in the solar area, there's no dedicated TVET institution. So under the Star J, Kulmasa will benefit from it as I announced. And then we would look at Palbe to complete the E-block so that they have a functioning senior high school to absorb the population in that area. Mr. Speaker, my attention was also drawn to Yape. Sometimes between Kintampo and Yape, many of the learners have to walk long distances to be able to access secondary education. That is why GET Fund is undertaking some infrastructure development in some junior high schools and some senior high schools. So the Honorable Mumuni should be assured that Palbe is receiving government's priority attention. What we want to be able to do is to revise the numbers and subject it to procurement, and they will be completed. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Mumuni, I hope we don't have any supplementary question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Very well. So we now turn to, from Saraga North, let's come to Offenso South. Offenso South, on question 620, from Dr. Isaac Ya Opoku. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask the Minister for Education when work on the following abandoned project at St. Jerome Senior High School in the Offenso municipality will resume. Science laboratory, boys dormitory, 6-unit classroom block, and administration block. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, that is St. Jerome. Eh? Yes.
So, Mr. Speaker, I borrow from your pronunciation of Jerome. St. Jerome Senior High School is located at Abofor Offensive Municipality District. Abofor. I would have said Abofor, and then you will laugh at me. So, Mr. Speaker, forgive my. And the Offensive Municipality District in the Ashanti region, the school has a population of 2,364. The school has 2 Get Fund sponsored projects, single-story boys dormitory and 6-unit classroom block. The construction of the single-story boys dormitory block was awarded May 2019 to Measures Constraint Limited at a contract sum of 1,4,788,112.35 Ghana cedis. The project is being supervised by Measures Compro Limited. Works on the above project stands at 55% completion, and payment made 395,000 to the contractor. Mr. Speaker, the construction of the 6-unit classroom block was awarded far back August 2016 to Measures Avishai Enterprise at a contract sum of 775,400. So the contractor will not find it attractive to go back to site to get this completed. There are those for which we've asked the consultants to revise them and come back to us for us to re-award those contracts. So, Mr. Speaker, the construction of the Science Laboratory Administration Block project will be revised and re-awarded to ensure that contractors are mobilized back to site. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honorable.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to know from the Minister the time frame for the re-award of the laboratory and the administration block projects.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I have to engage with the project management unit of the ministry and then the funding agency of Get Fund. Once I get the buy-in of the 2, I'll proceed. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now you take the last question from Manson Kwanta, Honorable Trinibu Akudria. Is it Fuku or Fukuya?
Fuku.
Fuku. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, on authority from the member and your permission, I rise to ask the Minister for Education when the Pechi Applied Technology Institute, TVET, would have its boarding facility ready following the completion of the shell structure, which requires furnishing.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, there are 2 projects. I should thank the honorable member for the question. There are 2 projects at the Pechi Applied Technical Institute, the construction of boys and girls dormitory. Project was awarded October 2018 to Measures Di Lorenzo at a contract sum of €5 million. The contract is being supervised by CPM Africa Limited, and payment made stands at €5,135 million. The percentage of work at the boys' dormitory, 90% and 75% of the dormitory is at completion stage. The ministry through its agencies will continue to monitor to ensure that the boarding facilities are completed. Mr. Speaker, I was in Italy, and the government of Italy granted Ghana €5 million to support technical and vocational education. Only last week, I wrote to the Honorable Minister for Finance for commencement certificate to activate and ensure the utilization of this money. I would look closely to the Pechi Applied Technical Institute. Mr. Speaker, yesterday I was in Kukrantumi for the commissioning of a girls' dormitory built with the support of GIZ of Germany and the European Union. And Mr. Speaker, I was amazed at the bedding facility provided at the St. Paul Technical Institute was built by the students themselves. That is what we should be doing going forward. Mr. Speaker, I'll recognize Che. I'm saying I was at St. Paul's yesterday, and I'm encouraged that the beds that was in those girls' dormitory was built by the students themselves. Yesterday, I assured them of an assembly hall. And as I have said, Mr. Speaker, if Ghana is to succeed in addressing growing unemployment and underemployment, we need to upskill steady, sustainable resources for the TVET space. So I'm considering coming back here with the TVET fund. We need to dedicate more resources into skills training. Many of the young people are not looking for jobs. What they want is, give me a skill. And if you look at many of the workshops and facilities, they are poorly equipped. I was at Burma Camp to look at the Armed Forces School, and not in the best of shape. In fact, I entered there with the World Bank, one of the deputy managing directors. The laboratory was an empty shell of a table and chair. How do you expect the student to do well with that facility? So, Honorable Member, the Di Lorenzo group of Italy, they got support for it. They are currently doing some work in Salaga under our TVET initiative. So I'll engage with them and then come back to you on it. But we have €5 million, depending upon what flexibility I have. If you need something to get this completed, we should be able to make additional allocations for that. This is why it's not get fund. I say, you wrote to the Italian government, but we've come to benefit from it as a government. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, I think we will all be in agreement that the minister came here early, right away at 12 o'clock, and he has answered 14 different questions. So, Honorable Minister, on behalf of the House, we thank you for attending upon the House to answer questions from your own colleagues. Minister, you didn't listen to me. You've not been discharged and you are leaving. Minister, you are hereby discharged. Minister, you are discharged. Yes, leader.
Mr. Speaker, as indicated earlier, Honorable Jerry is ready to make a statement on the performance of the Black Stars yesterday. He said he had finished the last paragraph of his statement. It's an urgent statement on a matter of urgent public importance. So notice need not be given. Notice need not be given. Mr. Speaker, I already briefed you.
Honorable Leader, can you do it in this way? We have a prepared statement from a member. Then afterwards, we'll give the floor to Honorable Jelly to contribute.
Mr. Speaker, Jerry's voice in this matter is the most important. His voice in this matter is the most important. Because yesterday in this chamber, Jerry told us that the performance of the Black Stars yesterday will give an indication whether this country is working again. He said it in this chamber. He said in this chamber. He said in this chamber that we are going to use the match yesterday as a litmus test of whether this country is now working, whether things are working well. So since we won the match, we got 3 points. We won the match. Many great soccer nations drew, but we won. Some lost. We won. So I want the statement of Honorable Jerry.
So leader.
So, Mr. Speaker, but if you have exercised your discretion to admit other statements so that Jerry can contribute.
Yes. Jerry will definitely contribute.
Yes.
So
now that I've secured your commitment that he will contribute,
yes,
I can take my seat and look forward to his contribution.
I think this announcement was given earlier, so he has prepared enough for the contribution. But let me invite Honorable Dixon Chiledria, a member for Brekum West, to make a statement on Ghana's victory over Panama in our opening match yesterday at the FIFA World Cup. So, Honorable Dixon Chiledria, you may now read your statement. And afterwards, Honorable Jelly, will you make the first comment or the last comment?
Speaker, I definitely will make the last comment.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Honorable Chair, let's hear you. You have.
Speaker, just by way of a small guide, because we are seeking to abridge time so that we can take the bill, we want to pray that we take the two statements, then we take two contributions, and then we conclude it. Because there's one advertised in the name of the Great Jam, and he's ready. No, on a different one. My renewed friend. Yes.
Well. I also admitted one, but the person is not here, so we can. So, Honorable Chair, let's hear you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I rise with profound honor and pride as a Ghanaian first and foremost, and as the representative of the football-loving people of Brekum West constituency, to make a statement on the significance of the Black Stars' victory over Panama in our opening match of the 2026 FIFA World Cup played yesterday in Toronto, Canada. Mr. Speaker, football remains the most powerful unifying force in our nation, regardless of our political affiliations, ethnic background, religious beliefs, social status. Football uniquely brings Ghanaians together under one flag, one anthem, and under one national identity. It is therefore with immense joy and pride that I congratulate the Black Stars on their hard-fought 1-0 victory over Panama in Ghana's opening Group L match at the FIFA World Cup. Mr. Speaker, this victory is significant for many reasons. It has given Ghana a strong start in what many football pundits have described as one of the toughest groups, featuring the football giants England, the experienced Croatian side, and a determined Panama team. The Black Stars have demonstrated resilience, discipline, and tactical maturity by securing all the 3 points in our opening fixture. Mr. Speaker, football history tells us that opening matches at the FIFA World Cup are often decisive in determining a team's progress in the tournament. Mr. Speaker, this is only the second time that we have won our opening match in our last 5 World Cup appearances. The other opening match victory came far back in 2010 in South Africa, when Ghana began its campaign with a memorable 1-0 win over Serbia. That positive result laid the foundation for our historic journey to the quarterfinals, where we came within a penalty kick of becoming the first African nation to reach the semi-finals of the World Cup. In 2014, Mr. Speaker, Ghana's campaign suffered a setback after a defeat by the United States in our opening match. Despite spirited performance against Germany, we could not recover sufficiently to progress beyond the group stage. Also in 2022, Ghana lost its opening match to Portugal despite an impressive display. Although we later defeated South Korea, the initial setback ultimately affected our chances of qualifying. Mr. Speaker, the lesson from the history is clear. Winning the opening match significantly enhances a team's prospects of advancing to the knockout stage. We Ghanaians have therefore placed ourselves in a very strong position to challenge for qualification from the Group L. Mr. Speaker, I wish to commend the technical team and the entire playing body for their professionalism and dedication. They carried the hopes and aspirations of over 30 million Ghanaians and delivered a performance that has reignited national confidence and pride. Mr. Speaker, it is also important to recognize the distinguished leadership and the extraordinary support this House has provided for football in general, and specifically for the elite national team, the Black Stars. Ahead of our game against Panama, the Speaker himself demonstrated leadership by mobilizing support from the parliamentary leadership, parliamentarians, parliamentary staff, and the entire Ghanaian public for Black Stars. Indeed, Mr. Speaker sent a delegation from the Select Committee of Youth and Sports to Canada to support the team. As if that were not enough, Mr. Speaker, your very good self sat in the chair yesterday, and major part of parliamentary proceedings was devoted to goodwill messages for the team. Additionally, Mr. Speaker, kindly allow me to commend our own television channel, the Ghana GH Parliament TV, for the excellent job it did in promoting and building support for the Black Stars before this game. I would like to encourage them to do more in our subsequent games against England and Croatia. Mr. Speaker, this victory does not belong to the players and the technical team alone, but also to the millions of Ghanaians at home and abroad who continue to support the Black Stars through difficult and successful times. I commend the government of Ghana, the Minister of Sports and Recreation, the Ghana Football Association, our corporate sponsors, and all stakeholders who contributed to the team's preparation and participation at the tournament. On his part, Mr. Speaker, the Clerk to Parliament, Mr. Ebenezer Huma Jethro, was a delight indeed to watch as he led a morale-boosting Jama in Parliament yesterday. As we celebrate this important victory, we must build on yesterday's performance to reach the next stage. Indeed, the first 15 minutes yesterday, Mr. Speaker, gave many Ghanaians palpitations. The first half was nothing to write home about. However, the team improved markedly in the second half, particularly after tactical substitutions. It is therefore essential to significantly improve on this performance in order to have any realistic chance against England and Croatia. Mr. Speaker, the road ahead is bumpy. Ghana faces England and Croatia, two highly rated teams with World Cup histories. However, Ghana has repeatedly shown that dedication, teamwork, discipline, and national belief can overcome even the strongest opponents. The victory of Panama should therefore be a source of motivation rather than a cause for complacency. The Black Stars must remain focused, maintain their discipline, and continue to approach each match with confidence and determination. Mr. Speaker, football contributes significantly to national development. Beyond entertainment, it promotes social cohesion, creates employment, strengthens national relations, stimulates tourism, and enhances Ghana's global image. Every successful performance by Black Stars elevates the nation's reputation and inspires millions of young people to pursue excellence. As representatives of the people, we have a duty to rally behind our national team. I therefore call on all Ghanaians, regardless of political affiliation or personal differences, to continue supporting the Black Stars as we pursue qualification for the next stage of the competition. On behalf of the good people of Brecun West and of the good people of Ghana, I once again extend congratulations to the Black Stars on this very important victory. May this triumph mark the start of another memorable World Cup journey for Ghana. Mr. Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity to make this statement.
Thank you very much. So I'll begin with Honorable Staker.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for this opportunity. I would like to support the statement just made by my honorable brother, MP from the other side, that by the grace of God, by 2029, they will be sitting here. Mr. Speaker, I would like to say first, I echo to the entire management of the Black Star team and the playing body, as well as the state and all stakeholders that contributed immensely towards the excitation, the utility, the pleasure they gave us yesterday. Mr. Speaker, I'm sure you might have witnessed the running story or the trending story that yesterday prevailed. And that actually stemmed from this very person here, that there were a lot of doubting Thomases, that they were saying that, oh, it's not possible, we couldn't have won, it won't happen. And I told them that, in fact, the media men out there, and I told them that in the Bible, it is emphatically stated clearly, without any ambiguity, that even if your faith is as small as the mustard seed, you can even command the mountain and it will move. And then one of them said that, but the others also believe in God. And I said that they know the kind of God they believe in, but I believe strongly that with the faith that we have, we're going to do extremely well. I was in the same house with somebody who was against Black Star. And when it was getting to the 90th minute, the person was laughing and very excited. And before God, I said that, God, what is trending? Don't disgrace me. And then when they added the minutes, Mr. Speaker, like joke, I was worried. But I saw something, that the second half, I'm sure the angels had descended. We outplayed them. We did so much well. I saw the commitment. I saw the energies of our people. And I saw Ghana. You see Ghana flag? Check all the flags in the world. If you have eyes, you see something different. We are peculiar. God loves us. And I was so excited when the goal came. I knelt down and prayed to God that, God, you did not disgrace me. Mr. Speaker, what I would like to say, Mr. Speaker, what I would like to say, even though the task is very Herculean, cumbersome, laborious, involving, tedious, such an appointed time such as this, our God is with us. I believe that if you all have one spirit, if you all begin to believe with one accord and pray hard and have faith and work hard, God is God of impossibilities. Even those things that are impossible, he can do it. But I want to sign this caution. I beg all stakeholders, let us not be complacent. The management body, the referee, the boys, those who are praying, the entire state. Because if you read James 2:26, it talks about James 2:26. It talks about the fact that faith without works is dead. So let us not begin to be sluggish, indolent, and inactive, and begin to be too complacent to the extent that we don't get where we want to get to. I believe if it is in the goodwill of God, with prayer, hard work, and that oneness as a state, because football always unites us. And Ghana here, what has taken us far is our national cohesion. I am saying this because emotionally, I am with the Black Star, and I want each and everyone here to be also with the Black Star. This is about Ghana. This is about our country. This is about one people with one nation and one destiny. Inshallah, we'll get to where we are supposed to get to. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Let me come to Bolgatanga Sankra. I think it's taking some time that I've given the floor to.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like to commend the maker of the statement for successfully dealing with the issue of our participation in the World Cup. But, Mr. Speaker, if there's anything at all that brings Ghanaians together, it is always football. And listening to my colleague basically supporting the point that have been made by the maker of the statement gives me the hope that football can always lead the way to unite this country. Mr. Speaker, if you look at what happened last night, you come to no conclusion but to agree that Ghana has always been a slow starter in major international tournaments. Unfortunately, for those occasions when we have started very slow, all Ghanaians have been turned into mathematicians and calculating how we would fare based on the performances of other teams. But the good point is that this time we started slow, but we ended on a high, which gives us a good opportunity going into the subsequent matches, that if we're able to build on the rhythm that we saw towards the latter stage of the game, there's a likelihood that we'll go very far in this tournament. A lot of Ghanaians have been very apprehensive of Ghana's participation in this tournament because our preparations have not been very smooth. We kept losing a couple of matches ahead of the tournament, and if we were to use the tournament's preparation as a yardstick in determining where you end in this tournament, obviously a lot of Ghanaians didn't have much hope based on the performances that have occurred. But a critical observation that has been made is that across the world, Ghanaians are very proud of their country. Yeah. In fact, a number of things have happened in the last couple of months that have helped to soften and improve Ghanaians' own patriotism towards their country. Do not belittle what happened in the Zambia when our president was there and how it has affected the national psyche. Again, what happened in South Africa has wakened Ghanaians up and it has affected our psyche. For the first time in this tournament, we saw a football festival in its right senses, where a whole street in Canada was blocked by Ghanaians and people who didn't even know Ghana before joined in the drama that is accustomed to the people of Ghana. I will only want to caution that the win that we have had against Panama, for me, is going to be the least of our competition ahead of us. England will come well prepared, having studied the way we have played in the first match. Croatia would come with their proverbial robustness and tactical competence. But in our coach, we have an experienced coach that has served Alex Ferguson as the assistant manager in Manchester United for so many years. He has since grown to become one of the best in international football coaching, and we made a good decision to bring him at a time that we were facing turbulent times. Mr. Speaker, I do believe that once again, the Black Stars will make us very proud, and we would know that there is a new generation of players that are waiting to achieve stardom. Once again, I want to congratulate the team and to thank the government of Ghana and His Excellency, the President, our traditional leader, the Asantehene Rotumfo, who has been there to support and whip up the sentiments of our team. I hear the government chair is also there. And so our team does not lack motivation. What the vice president was there, I saw him celebrating when we scored. And clearly, our team doesn't lack motivation. They have been supported. They have been supported by the highest level of our country to do well in this tournament. But I also would like to commend the work that has been done by our ambassador, Asamoah. He is celebrated all over the world, and he has shown that after retiring from football,
Thank you very much. Yes, let me give it to the lady.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. I want to add my voice to the statements. Mr. Speaker, first of all, I want to congratulate the Ghana Black Star. And Mr. Speaker, yesterday was the first day I saw our Vice President dancing kakalika on the stage. Mr. Speaker, Ghana Black Star will say, yeah. Black Star, oh, yeah. Black Star, oh, say, yeah. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. You see, what he did for just 1 minute is more than speaking for 1 hour. So let me deal with my mom first.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to comment on the statement. Mr. Speaker, first of all, let us give thanks and glory to the Almighty Allah for what He has done for us. Mr. Speaker, yesterday, before I even left Parliament, I overheard Honorable Bejira going to the extent of praying for the Black Stars, and everybody was involved and very, very enthusiastic about the winning of the Black Stars. You could see the atmosphere was so charged to the extent that, Mr. Speaker, every single Ghanaian, although we are quite aware that in human society you cannot have all of us being in the same boat, there might have been some people who were not interested or even didn't want to, but the Almighty Allah said that even if it is a minute for the game to end, and we all have borne testimony to the fact that the last minutes when nobody believed that it will work for Ghana, the Almighty Allah showed us his power. Mr. Speaker, we need to continue to be united to understand the fact that the win of the Black Star is a win for Ghana. Nobody, and I cannot tell who is an NDC, an MPP, a PNC, a CPP, or whatsoever. I only know that it is a football team meant for Ghana, wearing our colors, ready to die for us. And so we must all pray fervently for them. Mr. Speaker, I wish to congratulate our Vice President, our President, all Ghanaians, the leaders, the organizers, Parliament especially. Yesterday you could see everybody dancing and singing, hoping and praying. And the Almighty Allah answered our prayers. I want to congratulate all of us and to say that let us continue praying. Let us stop the blame game. There's no need. I refused, Mr. Speaker, to watch the game because I was so frightened. I didn't have the heart at all. Mr. Speaker, I started having this problem when Otto Pfister was the coach. When Otto Pfister disappointed us, I became sick for 2 weeks. I almost died. Then came the almighty loss, and I'm saying this with any reservations or any insults. When we had the issues of Asamoah Gyan missing the penalty, then, Mr. Speaker, the insults that the mother got, I just looked and I said, what? I give birth to a child, the child helps and works for the nation for all this while, just one mistake and you have to insult this woman. Mr. Speaker, no matter how serious it was. Mr. Speaker, since then, I have never had the heart to watch any football match. Mr. Speaker, let us continue to get united. Let us understand and let us put into prayer and let's edge on. Let us continue to give them that morale boost to make them play better. Congratulations once more to all the Black Stars and Ghanaians all together. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I rise to join my colleagues to congratulate the Ghana Black Stars and to commend the maker of the statement for celebrating the feats of the Black Stars. Indeed, the performance yesterday and the results, the sweet victory we got is testament to the fact that if a nation unites behind a team and a purpose and puts political colors behind, we will definitely achieve our goal. Yesterday was a clear demonstration that not by might, not by power, and not he that willeth or he that runneth, but the Lord that showeth mercy. For anyone that had doubts in the inspiration of the team from the beginning, until the last minute and until the last whistle was blown, you would not be able to predict right. But we thank the team, we thank the technical team, we thank the government, we thank Parliament, the bipartisan support that we rallied behind the team yesterday. All across the country, and even in the diaspora, Ghanaians across the world were cladded and were flaunting the colors, the proud colors of our country. A lot of people that you see in the streets, in their cars, various walks of life, all were cladded in the national team's jersey, including the parliament of this august house. That goes to show the new spirit, the spirit of patriotism that has been awakened by football. Football unites all of us. Football has a unique power of bringing the country together, bringing us, uniting us, and letting us forget some of our woes, our differences. But I want to point out that getting to the 90th minute, when a new wave of inspiration was sparked, and the young man, Caleb Yonchi, started the onslaught, initiated the attack, and then passed it on to Antoine Semenyo, and Antoine Semenyo brilliantly passed it to Thomas Asante. Then the whole country started rising. Hope had been restored. Because, and then just when brilliantly Thomas Asante passed it on to the young man Caleb, who initiated the attack and finished it completely, brilliantly, all of us were thrown into a state of ecstasy. Midnight, and the whole country was vibrating with joy, with excitement, because the victory we won yesterday was our clear chance of qualifying for the next round. If we had lost that game, our dreams would have ended. But we also don't take for granted the teamwork. And people who thought that our team today may not be as inspiring and started as the team 20 years ago when we made our first appearance at the World Cup stage in Germany, will now be revising their notes. Because a team like Croatia, with all their FIFA rankings and all the big teams that their players are engaged in, are struggling even to earn a point. They lost 4-2. We have the African champion, with the greatest of respect to Senegal, but they failed to secure even a point. They lost. But Ghana has made Africa proud. Black Stars have made Ghanaians proud. And therefore, we all must proudly take portions in this joy. And this must remind us that in much the same way, if we would tone down on the political differences that continually destroy this country, but will unite the political class all the way to the grassroots and unite everybody together, we will be able to go somewhere very far. Yes, last night, when I joined the youth and the community at Ankwaso, where all the are saying about 20 communities are joining Ankwaso, Dama, Inyersi, Asen Crying, in Swayem, Chichire, all of them together. We forgot who was MPP or NDC. That did not matter to us. We forgot who was Muslim or Christian. That did not matter to us. All of us were united and fixated and focused on victory for Ghana. That spirit should not end when the World Cup season ends. It must always resonate with us so that we all will do something to make Ghanaians proud. In conclusion, I want to commend Caleb Renchi. Just 2019, a few years ago, he was a proud winner of the Ministry of Education's robotics competition. And now the pictures are coming out. And we have a strong policy on STEM, on robotics, which prepared some of these stars, which at the time were very young, but now are rising as global giants. And so let us continue in everything this nation begins, whether it was started by MPP or NDC. And let's provide opportunity to the African child to continue to make us proud. Once again, go Black Stars. This is just the beginning.
Thank you very much, Honorable Reverend Timfojo. So let me come to Honorable Sam George.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, yesterday or last night or the early hours of this morning were a fantastic time for all of us. The love is indeed back. The spirit of our nation is restored. And because I come after the presentation made by a Reverend Minister, and because this Sunday is Father's Day, You know, they celebrate Mother's Day more than Father's Day. But Proverbs 23:24 says that the father of a righteous child.
Yes. The father of a
the
righteous
father of a righteous child has great joy.
Yes.
A man who fathers a wise son rejoices in him.
Yes.
And this is because the nation has a righteous man as father.
Yeah, yeah.
And yesterday, and yesterday, as father of the nation, he did a simple post. Pray for the flag. Go Black Stars. Those were the blessings of a father.
Yes.
And all of us sitting here know what it means when your father blesses you.
Yes.
The blessings of a father are very important. And yesterday, as Ghanaians, irrespective of who we were able to celebrate as a nation. In fact, yesterday, I dare say there was no crime.
Yes.
Because everybody who was supposed to be a criminal was watching the game and was celebrating. And Mr. Speaker, it gives us great confidence to know that as a nation, we can rally around one cause as a people. But Mr. Speaker, let me single out not the playing body, and that is not to belittle the effort of the players. But Mr. Speaker, yesterday was a clear example that what Ghana has lacked in the past few years has been tactical knowledge on our bench. You watch the first half of that game, Mr. Speaker, and the Black Stars seemed to be on the ropes. The second half showed the competence of Carlos Queiroz, our coach. The changes he made, the effect it had on the game, that is something that we have lacked. And I'm happy to see that today we have a coach who can change the game mid-game with his tactical formation. And you know, Mr. Speaker, that is something that we saw President Mahama do in the last election, the tactical formation that he changed. But Mr. Speaker, we are excited.
And you are mesmerized.
We are excited that the way John Mahama mesmerized our friends in the MPP, Carlos Queiroz mesmerized the Panama people. But Mr. Speaker, you know, Ghana loves the big boys.
Yes.
We love, when we faced Czech Republic, they were number 2 in the world.
Yes.
When we faced US, they were number 5 in the world, and we made them small.
Yes.
And so tell England that we are coming. As we say in Ghana parlance, Wombae, we are coming. And so let us tell them, we yeah, Black Stars beba. We yeah, Black Stars beba. We yeah, Black Stars beba.
We yeah, Black Stars beba.
Yeah. We yeah.
Black Stars beba.
And to the 3 lions of England, ye din kunim, ye diko, ye besane di biom. Ye din kunim, ye diko, ye besane di biom. And so, Mr. Speaker, we want to say thank you and urge the boys on as we go to face England and Czech Republic. But the blessings of the Father go before England and Croatia. The blessings of the Father is ahead of them, and it will take them. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable. You have spoken today. Okay, Mumuni, Saraganov.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's Miam.
What's your constituency?
Miam constituency.
Miam. Okay.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you for this opportunity. I also like to thank the maker of the statement for such a timely and relevant statement. Mr. Speaker, I'd like to join honorable members to thank the Black Stars, congratulate them for such a beautiful victory yesterday. Indeed, yesterday's game was a tough one, but the Black Stars held on. They were resilient. and finally secured, a sweet victory at the dying minute of the game. It was good. It was good for the country. And then again, Mr. Speaker, like the maker of the statement alluded to, the games ahead are not going to be easy. We have England and we have Croatia. But I know with teamwork, with the same resilience, and then again with commitment, we are going to sail through. England, I know, at least for the game they played yesterday, they are also endowed with at least beautiful talents. But I know Ghana will sail through. Other African countries have done it. We saw the likes of Egypt, held Belgium, almighty Belgium, to a draw game. We saw what Morocco also did against Brazil. So, inshallah, with the confidence we got through yesterday's game, we are going to hold on to the same resiliency, beat England in the next game, follow through to beat Croatia. So I'd like to again thank the Black Stars for a sweet victory, and we pray that inshallah in our next game we are going to win again and make Mother Ghana proud. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Okay, I'm taking 1-1 and I come to leadership. Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Because I have a statement coming, I thought I should just use about 2 minutes to also add my voice to my colleagues in congratulating the Black Stars. Mr. Speaker, honestly, yesterday when the T-shirts were being given, I almost gave mine out because I didn't have confidence knowing that most of our star players were not going to make it. But the 90 minutes play, Mr. Speaker, taught me a lot of lessons. In fact, the first 45 minutes, it went as if it was just a community small pool game. You know, because I didn't see it up like somebody would say. But after the 45 minutes, after the break, I decided to take to social media. And I had some consolation from people who gave me hope that it was going to work. Like my honorable senior Sam George said, there are some lessons that this 90-minute play have taught us. One, had not been the changes that the coach made, I'm sure we're not going to have this goal. And so in every sphere of life, if you want to maintain the same status quo, a lot of times it creates problem. If there's a need for a change, let's change for people to come in with some new energy. This, obviously, that's what we are talking about, reshuffle. Mr. Speaker, the 90-minute play also taught us about teamwork. I call him Semenshia Semenyo. If you have decided to be greedy, we're not going to have the goal. And so we need to teach ourselves, we need to learn teamwork. It is not always that people have to think about scoring the goal and make the name for yourself. If you create it, if you assist. For me, I just learned of the name of the scorer this morning. But for the play of Semenyo, his name is stuck in my mind. So a lot of times, those who contribute to people's success must also be applauded. And I take this opportunity to congratulate Semenyo for creating this goal and making Ghana happy. Now we are praying for the next matches. And that is why I will want to implore on my colleagues not to be too quick in taking credits. Immediately you start taking credit, there are people who will start putting their toes on the ground. So you see, at this point, let's be nationalistic. Let's be nationalistic. Let's all take the credit. After we have finished, you can decide to take the credit. But for now, don't let me mention anybody's name. Let's give the credit to the players. They are on the field. Because you see, if it had not happened, if the goal had not come, and we had started mentioning the names of the minister and others, somebody will ask, was the minister playing? But now people are taking credit. We shouldn't be quick enough to take credit now. Let's take our time.
Thank you.
After everything, we can give credit to those that deserve it. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Walanyo, I also give you 2 minutes.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. let me join my colleagues to commend the maker of the statement and the entire technical team and the players for a yeoman job they did yesterday. Mr. Speaker, they defended the flag of Ghana. I know yesterday all of us were tense for the 90 minutes until the goal came from our own Caleb. Mr. Speaker, I'm happy the players did not forget the slogan of the great Accra House of Oak, never say die until the bones are rotting. That's why they did what they did yesterday. Mr. Speaker, yesterday the nation was not just united. Families were united. Communities were united. In my constituency, one of the viewing centers, Mr. Speaker, it will interest you to know, started in Alavanyo because of the problem between Alavanyo and Konya years. The families did not see each other. But yesterday, around 11 o'clock, we have families moving from Nkonya to Alavanyo to watch the match. Mr. Speaker, another incident happened in one of the viewing centers. A man who divorced his wife for 4 years hugged the wife at the viewing center. And this morning, Mr. Speaker, we were told that the woman was found sweeping the former husband. This is what yesterday's match has done to our country. Mr. Speaker, to conclude, in Numbers chapter 13, when Moses sent the 12 spies to go and survey the promised land. Numbers chapter 13. Mr. Speaker, this was what happened. He said 10 of the spies came back, feared, and reported that the city that they went to survey is made up of giants, people that they are afraid of. 10 of the spies. But 2 of them, that's Caleb and Joshua. Caleb, emphasis on Caleb, who scored the goal for us. And Joshua came out to give hope to the
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Walanyo. Let him now come to Honorable Jerry, who's so Honorable Jerry. Yesterday, you remember that when we were making the motion to adjourn the House. Honorable Majority Leader and the Chief, we wanted to continue with the bill. But my part said the game we are going to have is spiritual. So we shouldn't just dilute the spiritual exercise we've undertaken yesterday. And I believe that's what we are coming to continue. So let's hear you.
Mr. Speaker, I thank the maker of the statement for bringing to the fore the game that was played yesterday by the Black Stars. Mr. Speaker, I indicated yesterday that football has become the rallying point for Ghanaians. It brings us together irrespective of which party you belong to. Save that there are people who do not want to depart from that. They still want to use football for politics. Mr. Speaker, it is still my prayer that what I said yesterday, the Ghanaian people would know that it is key that people have their hearts invested in the game of football anytime Black Stars are playing. Mr. Speaker, and I want to quote once again what President John Dramani Mahama said, and I quote, Mr. Speaker, "Nothing is working in this country. Everything has gone haywire, and it has even affected the Black Stars. The Black Stars have always been the Black Stars. I mean, we have all been proud of the Black Stars, and you can count on them to score when it matters. Today, look at the Black Stars. So sad. Yes, yesterday the Black Stars scored, Mr. Speaker, and they scored at the 94th minute. Mr. Speaker, you and I know that the goal that was scored yesterday was not a reflection of the efforts of the team. It was not. We played poorly, and our toughest games are ahead of us. Mr. Speaker, we celebrate mediocrity in this country. Mr. Speaker, we need to stop the celebration of mediocrity. When people are not playing well, we must be bold enough to tell them they are not playing well. Speaker, 68% of ball possession was with the Panama team. 32% was credited to the Ghana team. Mr. Speaker, the first half was practically played in our 18. Mr. Speaker, to the extent our goalkeeper, Atazigi, got injured and had to be taken out. Thank you very much. Atizigi, thank you very much, Minister of Communications. And our goalkeeper, Atizigi, got injured. I'm used to the Kolegono goalkeeper. Yes, I play football with him. I'm not sure of Atizigi. That the president promised that 99.9% of the team was going to be made of local blasters. I can show you as part of the videos. I have it here. Mr. Speaker, if he is doubting me, he's the Minister of Communications. You can see. Yes. Oh, Speaker, if you grant me the permission, I can share the video, and it can be played on the screen. That the president said that you need the Black Stars to be formed from the local team. And that, well, if you are talking about a percentage, please, when you were talking, I didn't. You can challenge it when you have, if you have you can come under point of information or elucidation and challenge that. Mr. Speaker, we need to, as Ghanaians, stop being mediocre. We need to be frontal with issues. You and I know, and I do not know if you actually watched the game, but we did not play well. And against the backdrop that the president has said that even when you have leadership that is failing, and that can be a basis for a whole country to fail because Black Star is not playing well, we should learn to depart from politics when it has to do with football. And it is an observation, it is a warning, it is an advice to all of us that let us get people to rally behind the Black Stars because it is our team. It is not for a particular political party. So when the Black Stars are doing well, we should all be excited that they are doing well. When they are not doing well, we should be praying as to how to get the right technical men and women to support them to do better. If you play and at the 94th minute you scored a goal and you played badly, you should know that there are 2 major matches ahead of you.
Thank you very much. No. We've gone past that. Leader. Yes, Honorable.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to add my voice to the statement made by our honorable colleague. Mr. Speaker, when it comes to football, football unites us. Football brings joy, and football projects our nation. Especially when you listen to some of the foreign journalists, when they speak about Ghana, what they say is they remember maybe Asamoah Gyan, they remember some of our good players, Abedi Pele and co. So you can see that the football projects our nation. The Speaker, yesterday, we have shown that we are Ghanaians, and we are Ghanaians before politics, because the whole nation rallied behind the Black Stars, and we united to support them. Mr. Speaker, the players should see themselves above every team that they will meet at the World Cup. They should see England as our colonial masters who have trained us. And anybody you train the person should perform better than you. So they should perform better than them as we are getting ready to meet them. They should just make them small on Tuesday. Mr. Speaker, they should work as a team. Nobody should be claiming, I want to take this credit. Work as a team and deliver. We don't want to hear they are skillful and you play 90 minutes without goal. If you are not skillful, all we need is goal. Just put the ball in the net for us to jubilate. 35 million Ghanaians are relying on them to jubilate and to be happy. They should bring back the love for football again. We should see them at the quarterfinals. And we'll still pray for them to bring the cup back to Ghana. Mr. Speaker, they shouldn't take what we are saying for granted. They should just make Ghana proud. That's all we want to hear from them. And all we want to see is goal, but not skillful, not who pass the ball here and pass the ball. No. We want to see them scoring so that we all jubilate and be happy once again as Ghanaians. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, we are left with two statements. But before we do that, let me acknowledge the second batch of our students at the public gallery. We have Sedriase KKMA Primary, they are here being led by Dennis Mensah, who is the assistant headmaster, and the school is located in the Pond Katamanso constituency. Their number is 65. And the second group is UHAS Basic School. UHAS Basic School. They are also here being led by Godfred Azima, who is the head of department, and the school is located in the whole constituency. And their number is also 65. You are welcome. We wish you a pleasant stay, and we pray that whatever you are monitoring here will urge you to study hard, so that tomorrow you can also come and take our place when we are not around. You are welcome once again. So we take the second statement. And the second statement is on sickle cell, and it's from a member for Akemoda constituency. So this one, we will read this one as well as Honorable Member. Your statement, I don't have it here, so that is why I couldn't. We will read them together. Then
Speaker, you don't know my name. You're supposed to know my name by now.
Mr. Honorable Lifeman. Yes. So, Sharp, we will read your statement as well as Honorable Aqua together. Then we will take the commentary together. Then we'll move on to do some few clauses on the bill. So, Honorable Kwesi let's
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity to make a statement that commemorates the World Sickle Cell Day, which is tomorrow, under the theme, Closing the Survival Gap, Equity in Sickle Cell Disease. Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the many warriors, their families, and caregivers battling this catastrophic blood disorder, I thank you for the opportunity to make this urgent call to action. Honorable Speaker, I rise to share familiar stories we may have experienced throughout our lifetime at our homes, schools, villages, communities, places of worship, health facilities, and here in our offices and within our constituencies. I speak of accounts of babies, infants, and children succumbing to devastating illness that brings upon them very severe anemia, painfully swollen hands and feet, eyes that glow with a yellow tint, dark, cola-colored urine, and even stroke that maims and kills. And then there are narratives that were remembered among the young and old about those who escaped these premature deaths. I'm sure we all remember statements like, Nkrabia, he won't live beyond 18 years, 25 if he is lucky. Unfortunately, too many people continue to be stigmatized and judged because of this disease. Indeed, honorable members, sickle cell disease, or SCD, is a catastrophic genetic blood disorder that kills, maims, and impoverishes affected individuals and families. Honorable Speaker, about 8 million Ghanaians are carriers of an abnormal hemoglobin gene called the sickle cell gene. Here on the floor of Parliament, every fourth person may be a carrier with the potential of passing the gene on to our unborn children. In Ghana, about 2 out of 100 newborns have sickle cell disease. The sickle cell disease gene is common in Ghana, where the malaria parasite also thrives. Across all Ghanaian dialects, there's a local name for this devastating blood disorder that is notorious for causing excruciating physical, mental, and even financial pain. Mr. Speaker, for example, the Ghanaians refer to it as Nyunyin in Fanti, Nududri in Ewe, and then Ahututio in Chi. We know this disease very well, yet global and international efforts to manage it, let alone eliminate it, are not commensurate with the devastation it causes. Mr. Speaker, over the past century, there have been fewer than 5 disease-modifying therapies for this catastrophic blood disorder, which can be efficiently managed through early detection, through newborn screening, that is popularly known as MBS. MBS is a life-saving intervention that is not universally accessible in countries in the global south with the highest burden of the disease, including Ghana. Sub-Saharan Africa accounts for nearly 80% of global cases. In 2021, there were 515,000 new births and an estimated 7.74 million people living with the sickle cell disease globally. The most vulnerable population is African children under 5 years, in whom 50 to 90% of sickle cell disease-related deaths occur, sometimes with children dying undiagnosed. The rising global burden of sickle cell disease underscores the urgent need for action through sustainable local, national, and international collaborative partnerships that strengthen health systems and respond to the acute and chronic physical and mental well-being of all SCD warriors and their families. We have the tools now to diagnose and detect early any acute and chronic debilitating physical and mental complications of SCD. We have a better understanding of how to manage better and now cure this chronic non-NCD with safe blood transfusion and cost-effective disease-modifying treatments such as hydroxyurea. However, we are running out of time and need to expedite efforts to achieve the SDGs by 2030. The Speaker, sickle cell disease remains a significant driver of health inequalities and an obstacle to achieving the SDGs. All local and transformational efforts to address the global sickle cell disease burden, which primarily affects low-income, vulnerable population, may help us move closer to achieving the SDGs. This demands sustainable, collaborative, local and international partnership through interdisciplinary, holistic, preventive, rehabilitative, and restorative and mental health measures across continents. Eventually, health system strengthening and sustainable funding are needed to mitigate the social, economic, and political determinants that threaten to widen the existing inequalities. The recent announcement made during the 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly were reassuring, emphasizing the urgent need for sustainable collaborative actions to bridge the global SCD equity gaps. Honorable Speaker, it is undeniable that sickle cell disease causes life-threatening complications affecting every organ in the body, from the head to the feet. Typically, children and adults with sickle cell anemia experience excruciating bone pain, anemia, and infections. Fortunately, there are several proven interventions targeted at early diagnosis, which cost-effective tests that turn around accurate results within minutes, while there are cures, including bone marrow and gene therapies that are practically inaccessible in Ghana due to their cost and the logistics required to implement them. Mr. Speaker, the most impactful intervention at this time is the nationwide implementation of hydroxyurea theory for nearly all patients with sickle cell disease. Mr. Speaker, HU, as is popularly called, an old anti-cancer medicine, has been approved by the United States Food and Drug Administration since 1998 for the treatment of sickle cell disease in adults, and subsequently in children aged 9 months and older. Several sub-Saharan African studies have also shown that these interventions are feasible, safe, and cost-effective in reducing typical bone pain, recurrent hospitalizations, the need for blood transfusions, and acute chest episodes. Therefore, the consistent benefits of one daily oral HU have been demonstrated across the lifespan in the global north and south. A public-private partnership between the Ghana government and Novartis in Ghana that happened in 2018 successfully piloted HU therapy for sickle cell disease across 21 districts, regional and teaching hospitals under the Ahojo program. Subsequently, HU was included in the National Health Insurance Scheme in 2022. HU access under the NHIS is currently restricted to about 20 NHI credentialed hospitals in 8 regions, including only 6 of the 21 Ahojo-affiliated facilities with specialist prescribers. This urban centralization creates a significant barrier for rural patients with sickle cell disease. The resulting travel burden forces a difficult trade-off, leading to lost income for adult caregivers and diminished school attendance for children. The underserved hospitals incur avoidable healthcare costs for recurrent hospitalizations, treatment of recurrent sickle cell disease crisis, and blood transfusions, which HU effectively prevents. Mr. Speaker, like Uganda, which has decentralized the safe utilization of HU for sickle cells warriors in their country, we need to urgently put in place measures to reap the full benefits. Therefore, to achieve true universal coverage of HU utilization for sickle cell disease, it is clear what we must do. As 2030 beckons for the achievement of the SDGs, let us facilitate measures to 1. Declassify HU as a specialist medicine and integrate it into the standard NHIS benefits list. Decentralize the prescriptions of HU and non-specialist prescribers in tertiary, regional, and district hospitals. Improve HU forecasting and procurement by including the global platform for access to childhood cancer medicines. 4, simplify the guidelines into national one-page as posters and reminders. 5, develop a network of specialists for consultation and supportive supervision. Finally, Honorable Speaker, I appeal to the public to show deeper compassion and sympathy toward those living with sickle cell disease and their families. We must eliminate derogatory and stigmatization language from our vocabulary. These individuals possess unique identities, strength, and talents. They are warriors, not sickless. To our dedicated healthcare providers, I urge you to treat our warriors with utmost urgency and empathy. This is especially critical during the rainy season when emergency departments said a rise of painful sickle cell crisis. Please ensure every patient is offered and assisted in assessing HU. Furthermore, I call upon hospital administrators to strictly implement government policy recommendations, ensuring that HU is fully accessible under the NHIS benefit list for all sickle cell warriors. We can now improve the survival, quality of life, and economic productivity of Nkrabia today while preparing the tomorrow's Nkrabia. We have tools, expertise, systems, and knowledge to achieve equity in sickle cell disease care across the country. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity.
Well, let me as well listen to Lifeman, Honorable Joseph Apia-Boateng. You may read your statement as well, so that.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My statement is supposed to be on Friday. I'm supposed to take it on Friday, but it was delayed. So it's better late than never. So I'll do it. Honorable Speaker, my statement is on the World's Day Against Child Labor. The theme is Red Card to Child Labor, Fair Play for Children, Decent Work for Adults. Mr. Speaker, economic hardship places immense pressure on families across the world, with children often pay the highest price through the loss of their safety, education, dignity, and childhood. It's also against this backdrop that I rise to commemorate this year's Child Day Against Child Labor, observing on the 12th of June 2026 under the theme Red Card to Child Labor, Fair Play for Children, Decent Work for Adults. This year's theme called for collective action to end the exploitation of children and safeguard their rights, education, and future. Child labor, which involves work that is harmful to a child's physical, mental, moral, or social development, remains one of the gravest violations of children's rights and a major challenge to national development. Mr. Speaker, according to the 2024 global estimate on child labor by the International Labour Organization, 138 million children worldwide, representing 7.8% of all children, are engaged in child labor, including nearly 54 million, that's 3.1% in hazardous work. In sub-Saharan Africa, child labor prevalence remains high at 21.5%, And despite recent progress, rapid population growth has kept the total number of affected children largely unchanged over the past 4 years. In Ghana, despite notable progress through legislative reforms, policy interventions, and social protection programs, child labor remains prevalent in sectors such as agriculture, fishing, mining, street hawking, and domestic work. According to the International Labour Organization findings from the 2017-2018 Multiple Indicator Cluster Survey revealed that approximately 2.5 million Ghanaian children, representing 28% of those aged 5 to 17, were engaged in child labor. These figures underscore the reality that many children continue to have their education, safety, dignity, and future opportunity compromised by poverty and economic hardship. Mr. Speaker, child labor in Ghana manifests in various forms, including trafficking, forced labor, and commercial sexual exploitation, hazardous work in sectors such as mining, fishing, quarrying, and agriculture, and exploitative labor through street hawking, domestic work, and other informal activities. Recent cases from the Volta Lake and Galamsey communities continue to highlight the vulnerability of children to dangerous and exploitative working conditions, whilst the growing presence of children, including disabled and internally displaced children, on the streets, underscore the socioeconomic pressure facing many households and the need for stronger child protection institutions. Mr. Speaker, Ghana has demonstrated its commitment to eliminating child labor through the enactment of key legislations, including Children Act 1998, Act 560, the Labor Act 2003, Act 651, and the Human Trafficking Act 2005, Act 694, as well as the adoption of major international and regional instruments such as ILO Worst Form of Child Labor Convention number 182, and the commitments have been reinforced through initiatives such as the National Platform of Action for Eliminating Human Trafficking, the National Child Labor Strategic Framework, Child Labor Free Zones, Cocoa Board Sector Partnership, the Ghana Child Labor Monitoring System, and social protection programs such as FCUBE and LEAP aim at preventing child labor and supporting vulnerable children and families. Mr. Speaker, despite this effort, significant challenges continue to undermine progress in the fight against child labor, poverty, unemployment, rising living costs, limited educational opportunity, family instability, weak social protection system, harmful social norms, and enforcement gap continue to place children at risk. For many vulnerable families, child labor remains a means of survival rather than a choice. Consequently, countless children are denied their right to education, exposed to dangerous and exploitative work, and robbed of their opportunity to reach their full potentials. These challenges are further compounded by inadequate resources for child protection institutions, limited rehabilitation facilities, and persistent data gaps. If left unaddressed, they will continue to perpetuate a cycle of poverty and vulnerability from one generation to the next. Mr. Speaker, child labor is therefore not merely a legal issue, but a reflection of broader socioeconomic inequalities. If we are to eliminate it, we must address its root causes through targeted social intervention, quality education, youth employment opportunities, and stronger protection for vulnerable families. As members of Parliament, we must strengthen oversight of child protection institutions, support community sensitization efforts, increase investment in education, social welfare, and rehabilitation services, and improve data collection to ensure well-informed, evidence-based, and targeted policy interventions. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, every child deserves the opportunity to learn in a classroom rather than labor in hazardous conditions. Every child deserves protection, dignity, and freedom to dream and achieve their full potential. I therefore call on this august House, relevant state institutions, civil society organizations, traditional authorities, parents, and all citizens to renew our collective commitment towards ending child labor in all its forms and building a Ghana where every child is safe, educated, and empowered. Mr. Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, I'm taking just one comment from here, another one from here. It's either on the first statement, which is on sickle cell, or on the child labor. 1-1. Yes, Millicent.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity given to me to comment on the statement ably made by my chairman of the Labour Committee on the child labor issue rising. Mr. Speaker, according to the statement, the 2024 global estimate on child labor by the International Labour Organization indicates 138 million children worldwide, which represents 7.8% of all children who are engaged in child labor. Mr. Speaker, it tells us it's very alarming and something that we have to really take much key attention to it so that we can eradicate this issue that is rising throughout the international community, which Ghana is also part of it. Mr. Speaker, in his statement, he clearly stated that despite the notable progress through the legislative reform, policy interventions, social protection programs, we are still facing this high rate of child labor through some sectors such as agriculture, farming, mining, and some domestic work as well. One thing we should be asking ourselves is, what is the root cause of this menace? And Mr. Speaker, I will clearly indicate and state that it's economic hardship. Poverty is one of the causes that gets kids or our children into this child labor, as well as the widespread, this financial hardship, and it's something we have to look at. Again, one of the causes can also be discrimination, that is unequal social guidance. So that is, Mr. Speaker, you would realize that some of our family members who feel that they are in so much hardship will now take their children to stay with other parents, and by the time you realize some discrimination among kids, they deny them also access to education and also get them into doing things that at their age they are not supposed to be engaging in. And so it's to us as stakeholders to make sure that I would appeal to the government to continue to enhance and encourage him in terms of the policy making. But Mr. Speaker, the maker of the statement clearly stated that there has been a huge demonstration in the commitment of eliminating the child labor through the enactment of the key legislation. But still, these menaces are still happening. And so I would ask my colleagues that let us be practical about this work. Practical in solving child labor. That is, wherever these institutions are, we have our leaders, either appointees or some leaders that we can collaborate and engage with. So, where do you find kids working in agriculture? It is in our constituencies. And we have assembly that takes care and assists in the constituencies. So we get the agric director in charge there who have its own, directors that will be going around, or officers, agric officers that will be going around. They should make sure that when they find kids or a child underage between the age of 5 to 17 years, they should report and get them to put a stop to that act. Again, when we find or we talk about mining sectors, we still have our local leaders over there, teachers as well. So, Mr. Speaker, I would say that much also dependent on us as parents and leaders. We brought the kids on this earth, and we should take it up. It is not about the book. It's about the practical work. We have to make sure we put in measures, and also the security agencies that have to put justice into place should do that. And I believe that with that, we will find a better way in solving. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. I'll take the last one. If there's nobody here, then I'll take Kintampo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm grateful, and to the maker of the statement for this laudable decision. Mr. Speaker, I have been attending programs a lot, human rights programs, educational programs, and what have you. And annually we are talking of child labor, child labor, child labor. Mr. Speaker, I beg to differ today a bit. Can we begin to relook at the causes of child labor well as a nation and beyond? I take myself, for example, Mr. Speaker. I was very young when my mother and my father had separation. I was moved to my senior father at a community called Asantequah in the Kintampo North Municipality. My senior father was a young farmer. He never forced me to start using the hoe. But at a point, I was gingered up on my own to tell them that I wanted to farm. And he permitted it at a point. Mr. Speaker, the end result about this is that at my secondary school, during economic recovery program, my father was affected. I didn't have money to continue. But because I knew how to use the hoe already, I used to tell our assistant headmaster, who used to farm, that anytime he plowed, his 2 acres farm, he should never give it to Bade people. And Mr. Speaker, to put it on record, I used to be able to farm 1 acre every 3 days to claim the money to support myself in education. The speaker himself, the Speaker of Parliament, one day he told me, he said, look, they used to move from Upper West through to Kintampo to other places to do what they call jong. In Dagari, they go to collect by day. Honorable Chiwite is just seated there. That is how they all grew up, in learning how to farm. We should begin to look at some of these figures. If not, the international community will continue to throw figures at us and will leave our culture away, follow their figures just for following sake. I joined the Ever people on the Bamboy River. I did what they call Gbadodo. I was a very young boy in primary school. We go in the night at the river and do what we call haro. That's how I can speak Ever. At that point, if somebody saw me, the fellow would say I was doing child labor. But indeed, that wasn't child labor. I used to do it the next day, get money for school. And today, I am blessed to be here. For me, I'm beginning to think that we do statements, yes, that is the right thing to do, but we should begin to look at these statements and the figures that the international community and NGOs are championing for us. My last one, Mr. Speaker. I was at a human rights program. They came out with a woman, a pregnant woman, with a child going to the farm. The mother was carrying firewood, and the child was holding the cutlass. For all you know, in that community, the senior brothers who can walk some 2 kilometers to the nearest education facility. They were in school. Should the woman leave the small child in the house alone without walking with her to the farm until he gets to the state where he can also follow the brothers? Lack of educational facility. So if an NGO come to this community and see this and come and tell me that and write that fellow's name, that the fellow is child labor, the every man send the child to the river to know how to fish so that in future he can survive on his own, then we say it's child labor. Mr. Speaker, I'm sure we need to begin to look at some of these figures again. And culturally, let them know this is how we'll bring up our children. Yensan Kofa to wait. Let's go back to our root. In Accra, if you go to Circle, it is flooded with people under the bridge, the overhead. Once in a while, they come to some of us to Bergman. I tell them, where are you from? Ko Uko Kruma, Abe, Ko Shas, San Kofi. Don't sit in Accra to wait. Don't be here begging.